The story kicks off with a bang. A volcano erupts dramatically as a helicopter flies through the chaotic, lightning-filled sky, hinting at some serious natural disaster. Looks like things are about to get apocalyptic. We zoom in on a street sign, likely in a city in China. This suggests an evacuation is underway, likely due to the volcanic eruption. A bus speeds down the road, probably packed with people trying to escape the impending doom. Whoosh whoosh goes the bus, and I'm sure the passengers' hearts are pounding even faster. Inside the bus, our protagonist Su Chen. Unlike the other passengers, he doesn't seem worried. Suspicious. Two passengers discuss the recent underwater earthquake, Mount Fuji's eruption, and the current evacuation. One of them, a woman with purple hair, is worried because they had to leave in such a hurry. The conversation continues, with talk of Walmart and alley warehouses being emptied in Jiangnan City. It sounds like people are frantically grabbing supplies, anticipating a major crisis. Someone on the bus mentions the sheer value of the missing supplies, trillions. The purple-haired woman looks shocked. The scale of this disaster is becoming clearer. A brooding, dark-haired man chilling on the bus declares that the end of the world is coming. This guy has serious "I told you so" vibes. Welcome our hero. The purple-haired woman and another passenger react to the end of the world proclamation. One with disbelief, and the other with a strange sense of anticipation of equality. The dark-haired protagonist doubles down, saying he knows there's no equality even at the end of the world. His intense stare suggests he's seen some things. A flashback. This explains Su Chen's certainty. He says he's experienced the end of the world before, hinting at a reincarnation scenario. Okay, so this is what the end of the world looks like in this manhwa. A giant, creepy, multi-eyed, tentacled monster with a huge mouth. Yup, definitely end of the world material. Another flashback shows the protagonist in his past life as an ordinary delivery man, seemingly unaware of the impending doom. Look at him, all innocent with his delivery bags. Boom, the apocalypse arrives. The image shows the descent of the apocalypse, marked by an abnormal release of solar energy. Crustal movements, soaring temperatures, and creepy monsters emerge from underground. The world is transforming, and not for the better. Our hero, now armed and more rugged, fights off monsters alongside another man. New world, new order. The world has fundamentally changed. A new leader rises amidst the chaos, standing triumphantly atop a pile of supplies, including instant noodles. This is either a savior or a ruthless warlord. Time will tell. Whoa, hold up. In the post-apocalyptic world, things have gotten interesting. The image shows two women being fed ham sausages. This seems excessive. Back on the bus, Su Chen thinks about the end of the world conversation, and it seems to have sparked an idea. He turns to the purple-haired woman. Su Chen abruptly gets off the bus, brushing off the purple-haired woman who was trying to talk to him. He's got bigger fish to fry. Su Chen walks away from the bus, deep in thought. He's got a plan, and it probably involves preparing for the upcoming apocalypse. Su Chen's internal monologue reveals his priority: supplies. He learned from his past life that survival depends on having enough resources. Our protagonist knows how to be prepared. He's thinking back to his past struggles and aims not to repeat them in this life. Su Chen arrives at work apologizing for being late. Even though he knows the world's about to end, he still has to deal with mundane responsibilities. Su Chen's thoughts drift back to his previous life, where he lost his job and supplies when the apocalypse hit. This time, he plans to be smarter about it. Su Chen's shoes spark with energy as he walks. This seems to be his spatial ability activating, hinting at some kind of special power. The spatial ability unfolds. It seems to be some kind of pocket dimension, perfect for storing, well, everything. Su Chen begins looting the warehouse. His ability identifies and automatically stores rice, cooking oil, and meat. Smart move. The warehouse fills with the futuristic blue glow of Su Chen's spatial ability. As he continues to store supplies, he's building a serious stockpile. More storing, more supplies. This guy is taking prepping to a whole new level. Even more supplies. Su Chen's got enough rice, cooking oil, and other essentials to last him through the initial chaos of the apocalypse. Su Chen explains his spatial ability, a super large cubic space that he can control, perfect for stealing air, purchasing supplies with $0. He's not stopping at dry goods. Su Chen is even storing fresh food and water, knowing how valuable they'll be during the apocalypse. Our hero admires a betta fish swimming in his spatial dimension. He's excited he won't have to eat dirt in this life thanks to his foresight. Su Chen sheds tears of joy at the sheer abundance of food he's amassed. No more dirt dinners for this guy. An inventory screen pops up detailing Su Chen's impressive haul. rice, cooking oil, vegetables, mineral water, convenience food, seasonings, alcoholic beverages, and even toilet paper. This guy is prepared for anything. Su-chen checks his inventory, breathing a sigh of relief. He's ready for the end of the world. Boss nonchalantly asks some co-workers to help him move the goods out. Little do they know, the goods are already gone, safely tucked away in his spatial dimension. The co-workers enter the warehouse, looking utterly confused. They clearly don't see any goods to move. The co-workers enter the now empty warehouse, baffled by the disappearance of all the supplies. One of them thinks he's hallucinating. The boss confronts his confused co-workers, asking where everything went. He's playing it cool, but you can see the smirk hiding beneath his innocent facade. Su-chen reveals that he took everything, using his spatial ability. The audacity. The co-workers are enraged. Boss orders workers to catch Su-chen, realizing they've been played. Su-chen activates his spatial ability and vanishes, leaving his furious co-workers in the dust. Right, I won't be late anymore, he thinks, clearly done with this job. One of the co-workers reaches out to grab Su-chen but misses as he disappears into his spatial dimension. So close, yet so far. The remaining co-workers are stunned. Where is he? Disappeared. They have no idea what just happened. Su-chen's spatial portal appears outside the building, showing his escape route. Slick. Our hero uses his space jump ability to land smoothly on the ground. 2 abilities. This guy is overpowered. Su-chen explains his second ability, Space Jump, which allows him to teleport short distances. Perfect for looting and escaping sticky situations. Protagonist reflects on how Space Jump will help him survive encounters with mutant beasts in the upcoming apocalypse. Su-chen celebrates the completion of his zero-cost shopping mission. This guy is my kind of hero. Hero's phone vibrates with an emergency alert about localized natural disasters. He knows this is just the beginning. Su-chen reads the official statement downplaying the disasters. Realizing the authorities are trying to prevent panic, Lead Player has a look of determination on his face. He knows the truth and is prepared to face it. Su-chen's phone rings. It's Zhang Xiaochen, a name that clearly triggers a strong reaction. Central character answers the call, furious. Zhang Xiaochen, his girlfriend, seems to have sold his house without his knowledge. Zhang Xiaochen is applying lipstick, seemingly unconcerned about Su-chen's anger. She justifies selling the house, citing Su-chen's responsibility as a man to provide her with security. Wow, talk about manipulative. Su-chen demands to know if Zhang Xiaochen has anything else to say. He is clearly reaching his limit with her. Main protagonist ends the call, telling Zhang Xiaochen they'll talk when he gets back to Chengdu. This sounds ominous. Su-chen reflects on his past life with Zhang Xiaochen, where he supported her for 5 years during the apocalypse. He seems bitter about how things turned out. Su-chen's expression hardens as he recalls how he helped Zhang Xiaochen survive the apocalypse, only to be betrayed. Flashback to the previous apocalypse, where our hero is injured and bleeding. A man with blonde hair, Wang Haoyu, asks why he keeps returning empty-handed. Wang Haoyu, having deemed Su-chen useless, turns his attention to a woman in bed. This scene hints at another betrayal. Wang Haoyu and the woman discuss their plans, making it clear they're using and manipulating Su-chen. The woman smirks, telling Wang Haoyu his competence depends on his performance tonight. Yikes! Su-chen seethes, realizing how badly he was wronged in his past life. He vows revenge against Wang Haoyu and Zhang Xiaochen. You won't die easily, he declares, setting up future conflict. This man is on a mission. Lead Player calms down, recognizing that securing more supplies will require money. Pragmatism prevails. Su-chen calls Manager Lu, probably about selling his house. Our hero agrees to sell his house at half price, but he has one condition. Su-chen demands cash immediately. He's not playing games. A yellow cab pulls up outside Dream Real Estate. Looks like Su-chen is closing the deal. A pink-haired woman confronts Su-chen, asking how long he's been waiting. She seems irritated. Main protagonist brushes past Zhang Xiaochen, telling her to move aside. He's got no time for her drama. Wang Haoyu appears, threatening Su-chen for selling the house. He's brandishing a baseball bat. Not smart. Su-chen's hand glows with power as he prepares to retaliate. Here we go. Su-chen grabs Wang Haoyu by the throat, stopping his attack in its tracks. Our guy slams Wang Haoyu to the ground, telling him he can do whatever he wants with his stuff. This doesn't look good for Wang Haoyu. Zhang Xiaochen is terrified, yelling for help and accusing Su-chen of murder. The tables have turned. Su-chen kicks Zhang Xiaochen away, showing no mercy to his former girlfriend. Zhang Xiaochen falls to the ground, shocked by Su-chen's sudden aggression. Wang Haoyu struggles to breathe, choking under Su-chen's grip. I can't breathe. Classic. Su-chen tells Wang Haoyu he won't die too quickly. A chilling promise of further retribution. Wang Haoyu coughs, gasping for air after being released from Su Chen's grip. Zhang Xiaochen rushes to Wang Haoyu's side, concerned for his well-being. Zhang Xiaochen orders Su Chen to kneel and apologize, threatening to end their relationship if he doesn't comply. She still doesn't seem to grasp the seriousness of the situation. Su Chen turns his back on Zhang Xiaochen and Wang Haoyu, completely ignoring her demands. The lead walks away, dismissing the pair as worthless. He's done with them. Inside Dream Real Estate, Manager Liu offers Su Chen a drink. The deal is about to be finalized. Manager Liu offers to buy Su Chen's house. He's clearly unaware of the impending apocalypse and thinks he's getting a steal. Manager Liu gloats internally, believing he's going to make a huge profit from Su Chen's desperation. Su Chen agrees to the sale but insists on full payment today. He needs the cash now. Main hero signs the contract and Manager Liu agrees to transfer ownership next Monday. Little does he know, next Monday won't matter much when the world ends. Su Chen smirks, knowing he just pulled off a genius move. He has the cash, and Manager Liu is left with a soon-to-be worthless property. And this is the confirmation of the 700,000 yuan transfer to Su Chen's bank account. He's got his money, his supplies, and his revenge. Bring on the apocalypse. The story continues with the backdrop of various disasters happening. But Shanghai is eerily calm. Life in Shanghai is orderly, thanks to official debunking. But Su Chen notices a poster for fast loans. This seems to pique his interest. Su Chen leans against the lamppost, contemplating the high-interest loan offer. It seems our hero is up to something. Our hero makes a call, inquiring about mortgaging his property with a property certificate. The wheels are turning. The scene shifts to the imposing Hane International building. This must be where the loan company is located. Su Chen arrives at the Great Sea Loans Limited Company. He's greeted with a snide remark about his house not being worth much. Ouch! Inside the loan office, Su Chen asks how much he can borrow. Little do they know, he's not your average borrower. We get a flashback revealing that Wang Haoyu's older brother died in the mutant beast attacks in Su Chen's past life. Clearly, this is a revenge plot brewing. The loan shark offers 500,000 yuan, but demands the property certificate as collateral. Su Chen agrees, promising quick repayment. The loan shark assumes Su Chen is a gambler desperate for cash, little realizing Su Chen's true intentions. Oh, the dramatic irony. Su Chen receives 600,000 yuan into his account. It's time for our hero to put his plan into action. Our beauty Zhang is furious about her house being taken. She's determined to make someone pay. Zhang spots Su Chen and questions if it's really him. Xiao Chen, along with her companion, decides to follow Su Chen. They're curious about what he's been up to. The scene changes to the Green City Hotel, a building that miraculously survived the initial disasters. This place is about to become important. Su Chen considers using the hotel's well-equipped presidential suite as his base. Smart thinking, protagonist. Inside the hotel, Su Chen finds the warehouse stocked with food and supplies. Looks like he hit the jackpot. Lu Xinrui, the hotel restaurant manager, greets Su Chen, ready to assist him. Su Chen surprises Lu Xinrui by ordering a banquet for 1,000 tables. Talk about a grand gesture. Lu Xinrui is shocked by the request, thinking Su Chen is a hidden second-generation rich kid. She's partially right in a way. Su Chen negotiates the price, settling on 10,000 per table with a 50,000 deposit. He's playing this perfectly. Lu Xinrui readily agrees to the terms, seeing the potential to connect with wealthy individuals. Business is business, even in the apocalypse. Su Chen introduces himself, simple and effective. Lu Xinrui mistakenly assumes Su Chen is getting married and offers to book the presidential suite. He plays along. Protagonist walks out, satisfied with his initial transaction. 10 million yuan banquet secured. Su Chen revels in his plan, knowing he'll never have to pay the full amount due to the impending apocalypse. Lu Xinrui, still under the impression of Su Chen's supposed impending marriage, is happy with the booking. She's in for a rude awakening. Xiao Chen arrives at the hotel and inquires about Su Chen. She's still tailing him. Xiao Chen reveals that Su Chen is her boyfriend. This adds another layer of intrigue to the story. Lu Xinrui is impressed by Xiao Chen's wealthy boyfriend. She comments on Xiao Chen's luck, further highlighting the misunderstanding. Xiao Chen and her friend are stunned to hear about Su Chen's lavish banquet order. They suspect something's up. Lu Xinrui speculates about Su Chen hiding his wealth, a common trope in Manhwa. Xiao Chen's friend questions Su Chen's sudden wealth and calls him a bootlicker. This guy needs a chill pill. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the bank transfer. Xiao Chen is shown the 50,000 deposit. Outside the hotel, Xiao Chen's friend wonders who Su Chen invited to this massive banquet. He's growing increasingly suspicious. Xiao Chen believes Su Chen's banquet is a ploy to reveal her wealthy identity. This girl is sharp. Xiao Chen's friend asks what they should do, and she decides to take initiative. Get ready for some drama. Xiao Chen sits on a grand throne, looking regal and expectant. She's playing her part in this developing drama. Xiao Chen thinks back to the events that led to this extravagant banquet, from selling her house to Su Chen taking out a loan. Su Chen calculates his spending, acknowledging that the banquet deposit is a small price to pay for what's to come. Su Chen realizes he needs to take out online loans to prepare for the apocalypse. This guy is resourceful. Lead hero downloads loan apps and takes selfies to secure more funds. This scene is oddly hilarious. Success. Su Chen has managed to amass nearly 1 million yuan in loans. Su Chen realizes he still needs to buy essential survival items. The clock is ticking. Our hero makes a list of items he needs to buy online for the impending apocalypse. Fireplaces, ice makers, ice blocks, and smokeless coal. Su Chen knows he needs enough supplies to survive both extreme heat and severe cold. He's preparing for all eventualities. Then he calls to order 2,000 tons of smokeless coal. This is serious preparation. Furthermore, he calls an ice factory to order ice blocks. He's leaving no stone unturned. Su Chen discusses the details of the ice order with Mr. Wu at the ice factory. He inquires about the production time for 2,000 tons of ice. Mr. Wu from the ice factory guarantees delivery of 2,000 tons of ice in 3 days for 800,000 yuan. Su Chen's efficiency is impressive. Su Chen transfers a 100,000 yuan deposit for the ice, promising the balance upon delivery. This guy is a smooth operator. Mr. Wu, surprised by the large ice order, asks Su Chen if he's planning a large-scale event. Little does he know. Su Chen jokingly claims he's donating the ice to charity, leaving Mr. Wu perplexed. Su Chen is playing his cards close to his chest. Mr. Wu is impressed by Su Chen's decisiveness and efficiency. Then Ice Guru sees a taxi arrive unexpectedly and wonders who it could be. Here comes more drama. Xiao Chen and Li Na arrive and Zhang questions Mr. Wu about Su Chen, claiming he's her fiancé. This is getting complicated. Mr. Wu is bewildered by Xiao Chen's claim of being engaged to Su Chen. Assuming it's some kind of detective game, this misunderstanding is hilarious. Mr. Wu reveals Su Chen's massive ice purchase to Xiao Chen and Li Na, leaving them utterly shocked. The jig is almost up. Girls are convinced that Su Chen is a super-rich second-generation heir. They clearly underestimated him. Li Na demands to know what Su Chen plans to do with so much ice. The curiosity is killing her. Mr. Wu relays Su Chen's charitable donation excuse, further confusing Xiao Chen and Li Na. The mystery deepens. The two ladies are baffled by Su Chen's supposed charity. With all his preparations complete, Su Chen is ready to enjoy the remaining time before the apocalypse. Smart move, protagonist. Su Chen reflects on his past life's hardships and decides to indulge in the finer things before the world ends. Our prota orders expensive dishes at a high-end restaurant, enjoying a taste of luxury. He deserves a treat after all that planning. Su Chen notices a peculiar item on the menu, a question mark priced at 17,000 yuan. Intriguing. The waitress explains that the question mark represents a specially crafted dish by the head chef. Su Chen, ever curious, orders it. Then he picks a book, Shanhai Jing, which mentioned mutated monsters he encountered in his previous life. The monstrous serpent from the Shanhai Jing resembles the mutated serpent Su Chen encountered in his past life. He prefers to call this mutation atavism. The head chef Duan Ya arrives with Su Chen's mystery dish. Su Chen recognizes the chef Duan Ya. It seems he knows her from his past life. He remembers Duan Ya as Hell's chef from the apocalypse, known for her magical culinary skills. A flashback shows Duan Ya's terrifying form in Su Chen's past life, where she cooked with monstrous ingredients. This explains his startled expression. Duan Ya questions Su Chen's surprised expression, challenging him to try her dish. Lead player enjoys the dish, dual-faced life, and admits it's worth the price. He wonders if she would cook for him during the apocalypse. Xiao Chen and Li Na continue to discuss Su Chen's supposed wealth, dreaming of becoming rich wives. They're still completely in the dark. News of Su Chen's extravagant spending spreads in the restaurant. He's unintentionally become a legend. Our hero, comfortable in his luxury, reflects on the impending apocalypse and his regret for not indulging in life previously. The Casanova gets invited to drink with some ladies in the restaurant. Su Chen accepts the invitation and joins the ladies for drinks. Yunyan, one of the ladies, is introduced. It's her first time there and seems like she is there to get over a bad breakup. The ladies discuss Yunyan's cheating boyfriend while Su Chen listens. Yunyan chugs her drink impressively, catching Su Chen's attention. She then asks Su Chen if he's single. Things are about to get interesting. Yunyan makes a move on Su Chen, asking him if he's willing. Bold. Xiao Chen and Li Na witness Su Chen leaving with Yunyan and question his actions, suspecting he's cheating. Oh, the irony. Su Chen, displaying a surprising manly attitude, whisks Yunyan away. Su Chen and Yunyan head upstairs. This is where we leave off, leaving you guys eager for the next scene. Just kidding. Xiao Chen and Li Na try to stop Su Chen, wanting to confront him. Yunyan, in a little black dress, being ushered into a room, setting the stage for some classic manhwa shenanigans. The woman reveals it's her first time, clearly distressed. While Su Chen observes her with surprise, the tension and mystery are immediately palpable. It seems this whole first-time situation was a misunderstanding due to her inebriated state. Su Chen, ever the pragmatist, advises her to stay home and stock up on food, foreshadowing some impending doom. She looks confused but agrees. He leaves, muttering about love-brained people while locking the door. Looks like he's not interested in any romantic entanglements. Su Chen laments missing out on a rare opportunity due to some other women. Looks like he had plans other than playing the Good Samaritan. Two women, seemingly aware of Su Chen's presence, kick down doors in an attempt to find him. He's worried his chances for the night are ruined. The tension mounts. Su Chen, ever the mystery man, is overseeing a large delivery of ice and other goods to a warehouse, raising questions about his intentions. He tells the workers to hurry up and place the ice blocks almost everywhere. Xiao Qian, another key player, and another woman discuss Su Chen's strange actions, including renting a warehouse and buying large machinery. They're trying to figure out what he's up to. The intrigue intensifies as Xiao Qian recognizes items from the Green City Hotel being delivered to the warehouse. This suggests Su Chen is planning something big. The inside of the warehouse is revealed to be set up for a lavish banquet, complete with a red carpet. This gets Xiao Qian thinking about a possible proposal. Xiao Qian, confident and sassy, contemplates accepting a proposal only if Su Chen proves his sincerity. She seems less than enthused about the prospect. Xiao Qian confronts Su Chen, demanding to know why he's buying so many things. This girl is not one to be kept in the dark. Su Chen asks for her help in moving things, promising an explanation later. His secretive nature fuels her suspicions. Xiao Qian refuses to move things, proclaiming she's a rich lady. She's not about to get her hands dirty. The other woman convinces Xiao Qian to help by suggesting it's a test to see if she's rich lady material. Classic manhwa trope alert. Xiao Qian reluctantly agrees to help, determined to pass the test. This is turning into a hilarious competition. She grunts and groans as she moves boxes, convinced that proving herself will lead to Su Chen marrying her that day. The things we do for love or money. The other woman, not wanting to be outdone, joins in the heavy lifting, hoping to become a rich lady herself. The race is on. Su Chen, smirking devilishly, reveals his true intention is to exploit their free labor. He clearly has a plan, and it involves taking advantage of the situation. The warehouse is fully stocked, and they finally finish moving everything. The stage is set for something big, although the two ladies are exhausted. Xiao Qian, exhausted and sore, reiterates her determination to marry Su Chen and get his money. She's put in the work, now she wants the reward. The other woman complains about moving heavy ice blocks. I feel you, girl. Manual labor is not fun. Xiao Qian expects Su Chen to announce her as the future bride, but the promised guests are nowhere to be seen. The anticipation hangs in the air. Su Chen pays off the delivery drivers with generous red envelopes. They're thrilled, unaware of the gold-digging scheme happening in the background. The drivers rejoice, thanking their boss. Su Chen's definitely playing the part. Xiao Qian confronts Su Chen, expecting some big reveal or proposal. She wants answers, damn it. Su Chen coldly dismisses her, thanking her for the free labor but telling her there's no pay. Oh snap. Xiao Qian, bewildered, still believes there must be a surprise coming, clinging to the hope of marriage and a good life. Su Chen drops the bombshell. He's sold his house and is deeply in debt, so much for being a rich husband. The other woman is shocked by this revelation, questioning how he could be broke after spending so much on the banquet setup. Yeah, that doesn't add up. Su Chen explains he helped a big boss with a poverty alleviation project, implying that's how he spent all his money. He's not giving any more details. Xiao Qian realizes Su Chen has been lying to her all along. Her dreams of becoming a rich lady are crumbling before her eyes. Furious, she lunges at Su Chen. Someone get this girl a stress ball. She gets unceremoniously kicked to the ground, and her outburst makes it clear she realizes Su Chen isn't wealthy at all. Su Chen, unimpressed, calls her a gold digger. Ouch. Xiao Qian, seething with rage, vows to make him regret this. this isn't over. The other woman also threatens Su Chen, declaring him finished. This duo is not going down without a fight. Su Chen retorts with a chilling warning about the apocalypse, suggesting they'll be the ones regretting their actions. The stakes just got higher. He locks up the warehouse, clearly unconcerned about their threats. He seems prepared for what's coming. Su Chen, inside the warehouse, declares all his supplies and resources ready for the impending apocalypse. It's all coming together. He activates his infinite storage, a classic manhwa power, absorbing the massive stockpile of goods. This guy is ready for anything. The warehouse glows with an otherworldly light as the storage activates. Cool special effects. We shift to the Green City Hotel, another important location. Something tells me things are about to go down here. Inside, a big man promises Xiao Qian a good life and protection. Another suitor enters the fray. Wang the baddie echoes the promise and suggests Xiao Qian should have dumped Su Chen long ago. Seems like there's some history there. Xiao Qian quickly moves on from Su Chen, revealing her pragmatic or opportunistic nature. She's not wasting any time finding a new sugar daddy. She's startled to see Su Chen at the hotel, awkward. Wang Haoyu points out Su Chen as the one who laid hands on him earlier. Trouble's brewing. Su Chen calmly eats, seemingly unconcerned by their presence. This guy's got ice in his veins. Brother Hai, the big boss from earlier, confronts Su Chen, revealing he was already planning to find him. He seems intimidating. Big Brother reveals that Su Chen mortgaged his house and borrowed money from him, with the repayment due tomorrow. Looks like our lead is in deep trouble. The ladies discuss Su Chen's financial woes, glad they weren't involved with him. They dodged a bullet. Su Chen sighs, lamenting not being able to enjoy his meal. Poor guy constantly interrupted. Big Boss demands Su Chen repay his debt immediately, challenging his presence at the hotel. The pressure is on. Wang urges his older brother to finish Su Chen. This could get ugly. Hotel manager tries to intervene and calm the situation. Someone needs to be the voice of reason. The boss demands Su Chen kneel and apologize to him and his brother. These guys are clearly not messing around. A woman questions Su Chen about the commotion. He dismisses them as pests, so nonchalant. Brother Hai slams his hand on the table, enraged and threatening Su Chen. This is escalating quickly. Gao Chang arrives, asking what's going on. A new player enters the scene, and he looks formidable. Who allowed you to cause trouble here? Big Brother recognizes Gao Chang, shocked by his presence. This newcomer clearly holds some authority. Older brother nervously welcomes Gao Chang and backs down. He knows he's outmatched. Gao Chang is introduced as a powerful figure in Shangdu, and someone Su Chen clearly knows from a previous life, as the latter inwardly thinks. Looks like things are about to get even more interesting. Su Chen remembers from his previous life that the Green City Hotel was the first place where atavistic mutations occurred after the apocalypse. Now noticing that Gao Chang's abilities point to this happening early. Mutations are on their way. Gao Chang gives Su Chen a suspicious look. He's definitely intrigued by something. Su Chen thinks to himself, realizing this is his chance to usurp Gao Chang. Looks like we're about to see some power plays. Gao Chang notices Su Chen's intense glare. This kid is not to be underestimated. A woman's legs are shown entering a room. Another mysterious female character is about to make an appearance. The woman Duan Ya is brought to Mr. Sun. More introductions. Duan Ya wonders why Mr. Sun wants to meet with her. More intrigue. Mr. Sun compliments Duan Ya's beauty, clearly smitten. Looks like things could get romantic or creepy. Mr. Sun offers her a drink. Standard operating procedure for shady manhwa characters. He offers Duan Ya a glass of blood-red wine. That's concerning. Duan Ya swirls the wine, clearly apprehensive. She seems suspicious of Mr. Sun. Su Chen reflects on his past life, where he hid with Zhang Xiaochen during a heat apocalypse. He's got survival experience. He's surprised to see Zhang Xiaochen at the hotel, deciding it's time to settle old scores with her. Revenge is a dish best served cold, or during a heat apocalypse. Su Chen looks determined, holding his glass of wine. He's got a plan. Wang Haoyu and his brother discuss the unusual heat, foreshadowing the imminent apocalypse. They're clueless about what's really coming. The brothers laugh, excited about the prospect of seeing girls in swimsuits. These guys have their priorities straight or not. Xiao Qian and her friend note the unusually bright moon. They are completely oblivious to the impending doom. The bright moon hints at the apocalyptic event about to unfold. Xiao Qian, feeling the intense heat, asks to be taken to the pool. She just wants to cool off, unaware of the danger. Su Chen watches the moon, predicting that their love is about to explode, cryptic and ominous. He raises a glass to the apocalypse. This guy is relishing the chaos. The moon turns an ominous red and the rumbling begins. The apocalypse is here. Everyone in their swimwear is bathed in a red light, the first effects of the apocalypse taking hold. They are burned by the intense heat and light. Pool party fail. The gang boys are inside, oblivious to the chaos outside. Wang Haoyu's brother and Xiao Qian rush towards the pool room. They're desperate for relief from the heat. Others inside wonder what's going on. They're about to find out. The people who were outside stumble back in, their skin turning red from the heat. Things are getting serious. They cry out for help as the heat intensifies. The apocalypse doesn't discriminate. People gone crazy and spots an aquarium, thinking it's a source of water. Desperate times call for desperate measures. They rush toward the small fish tank. They're getting increasingly desperate, survival instincts kicking in. They seem to recover slightly, although still fighting over the fish tank water. It seems the mutations are affecting them differently. Others search for Brother Hai, wondering where he is. He's probably wishing he'd stayed away from Su Chen. Wang Haoyu starts with a frantic search for his brother amidst a chaotic situation. His face a mask of desperation and concern. He yells, "Yeah, where's brother?" A distressed, injured man, the antagonist's brother, weakly pleads for help, clinging to a wall as smoke billows around him. His face and body are covered in blisters, adding to the urgency of the situation. The scene shifts to what looks like a more formal setting. A man inquires why Miss Duan isn't drinking, hinting at an underlying tension. Xiao Gao offers a banquet, which sounds suspicious given the earlier panels and the smirk on his face. He has a goatee, further amplifying his sinister aura. The robed figure, Mr. Sun, interjects, asserting his authority and telling a subordinate Xiao Gao to mind his own business. The robed figure's statement about nobody refusing his wine suggests arrogance and power. Miss Duan, the female lead, has a thoughtful expression, internally cursing Gao Chang and Sun De Biao for trying to use her in their power games. It seems Sun De Biao, a name mentioned earlier, is up to no good and has possibly drugged her drink. Miss Duan suspects something is wrong with her drink, realizing she absolutely cannot consume it. The intensity in her gaze suggests she's in a precarious situation. Suddenly, the intense light and the men's reactions indicate that something extraordinary and possibly dangerous is happening. People react to the intense heat coming from the outside by trying to close the curtains. The urgency suggests the situation is rapidly escalating. Xiao Gao and Mr. Sun sense something is amiss and decide to investigate the commotion downstairs. Their expressions show concern mixed with suspicion. Miss Duan, now seemingly calmed down, holds her wine glass again. She seems to have regained control, making me wonder what her power is. A composed woman, the hotel manager, attempts to calm the crowd, assuring them that rescue is on its way. This hints at a larger crisis affecting more than just the immediate characters. A man, Old Mao, updates someone on the sudden, intense heat wave, 70 degrees Celsius, with about 100 casualties reported already. This establishes an apocalyptic event, tying together the heat and Miss Duan's reaction. Mr. Sun calls for help from Minister Zhao, further establishing the scale of the crisis. He is stranded at the Green City Hotel. Xiao Gao inquires about Mr. Zhao's situation, learning that he's struggling to manage the power outages. This underscores the severity of the disaster. Brother Hai needs medical attention for his burns, but the intense heat outside makes reaching a hospital difficult. Brother Hai plans to have Xiao Dao drive over and pick them up, offering a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. He's sweating profusely, a stark reminder of the extreme heat. Xiao Dao confirms he is in the underground garage, ready to pick up Brother Hai. His dialogue indicates he isn't fully aware of the severity of the heat outside. Xiao Dao's vehicle is seen in the underground garage. It is a nondescript van, contrasting with the lavish interiors seen earlier. Xiao Dao, driving out of the garage, notices the drastic change in daylight and temperature, expressing his bewilderment. Clearly, something unprecedented is happening. Xiao Dao's tire blows out due to the extreme heat. This represents a setback in their escape plan, adding to the mounting tension. All four of Xiao Dao's tires blow out due to the intense heat, leaving him stranded and unable to assist Brother Hai. This is visually depicted in a dramatic overhead shot. Xiao Dao informs Brother Hai about the blown tires and his inability to return, emphasizing their desperate situation. He looks stressed and defeated. Xiao Dao abandons the situation, telling Brother Hai to figure it out himself. This act of desertion leaves the man's brother in a dire predicament. The man, seemingly having lost contact with Brother Hai, slips and falls. His phone flies from his hand, hinting at a further loss of communication. Xiao Dao lies injured on the ground, implying the fall was severe. The next scene can be a little disturbing. Warning makes me anticipate something gruesome. This poor man, now severely burned and injured, tries to reach his phone. The scene is indeed disturbing, illustrating the dangers of the extreme heat. Brother Hai and two women react with horror to the Xiao's cries over the phone, demonstrating the emotional weight of the situation. Their facial expressions are vivid and full of terror. The man's dropped phone displays Brother Hai's name. This symbolizes the severed connection and the potential loss of hope for rescue. The air conditioner panel shows a temperature of 25.5 degrees Celsius. This starkly contrasts with the scorching heat outside and indicates a haven of coolness somewhere. A luxurious room with a pool is shown, suggesting a place of refuge from the deadly heat wave. A drum set sits by the poolside, adding a touch of unusualness to the scene. We see Su Chen, a key character, sleeping peacefully in a comfortable bed within the cool room. This juxtaposition highlights the disparity between his comfort and the chaos outside. Su Chen, asleep in bed, represents a stark contrast to the struggles of the Xiao Dao and his brother. He seems oblivious to the world outside. This image provides context, explaining that ground temperatures have reached 100 degrees due to intense heat from the moon. It confirms the lunar source of the disaster and reiterates its devastating impact. The image depicts the devastating consequences of the heat wave, with a focus on infrastructure damage. The city power center sign indicates the source of the power outage. An explosion at the city power center is shown, symbolizing the complete breakdown of essential services. The vibrant colors convey the destructive power unleashed. Brother Hai tries to contact Xiao Dao but is unable to reach him. This further emphasizes the communication breakdown caused by the disaster. Brother Hai, still suffering from burns, is told that all other hotel rooms are booked, forcing him to share a room. This sets the stage for potential conflict. Zhang objects to sharing a room with Brother Hai, complaining about the ludicrous situation. Li Na echoes the sentiment. Brother Hai, frustrated by the lack of electricity, questions the state of the hotel. His sweating and the presence of others in similar states reiterate the oppressive heat. Brother Hai's companions warn him about the rapidly rising indoor temperature and the risk of suffocation. One removes his shirt due to the heat. Zhang remembers Su Chen's presidential suite has a pool, suggesting a potential solution to their problem. Her determined expression suggests she's ready to take action. Su Chen is shown diving into the pool in his luxurious suite. He remains blissfully unaware of the chaos unfolding outside. Our hero enjoys the cool water in his private pool. This panel explains his foresight in choosing a room with a pool and preparing for the power outage, emphasizing his preparedness and resourcefulness. Su Chen dries himself with a towel after his swim. He seems unfazed by the external crisis, comfortable in his well-equipped room. The lead player emerges from the pool in his suite, satisfied with his choice of room. He is prepared and knows how to take care of himself. Su Chen prepares his air conditioning unit and backup batteries, demonstrating his foresight. The 100% charge and 30 degrees Celsius setting underscore his meticulous preparations. Main character decides to add some ice to enhance his comfort. This further showcases his self-sufficiency and disregard for the suffering of others. Su Chen relaxes on the couch with a drink, showing his contentment amidst the chaos. He is thoroughly enjoying his comfort. Our boy feels hungry after his refreshing dip. This sets up for a luxurious meal in stark contrast to the struggles faced by other characters. An assortment of delicious food appears, showcasing Su Chen's access to resources despite the apocalypse. The visual effect suggests the food materialized quickly. Su Chen enjoys a simple breakfast, despite it being the first day of what he calls the apocalypse. His nonchalant attitude towards the crisis is striking. Su Chen wonders when Chang's opportunity will present itself as he eats. This suggests he's anticipating someone's misfortune and is likely manipulating events. Someone bangs on Su Chen's door, demanding he opens it. The intruder knows Su Chen is inside, indicating the beginning of a confrontation. The door to Su Chen's room opens slightly, revealing a cool, misty interior. Big Brother's feet are visible, indicating he's the one at the door. Big Brother remarks on the coolness of Su Chen's room, hinting at his desperation to escape the heat. He is surprised by the working air conditioning. Su Chen calmly asks if they need something, standing in the doorway of his cool suite. His calm demeanor contrasts with Big Brother's desperation. Wang Haoyu points at Su Chen's luxurious amenities, the pool, electricity, and food, highlighting the stark difference in their situations. The group with Brother Hai accuses Su Chen of selfishly enjoying his comforts while they roast outside. Their anger is palpable, foreshadowing a potential conflict. Big Brother, revealing a more antagonistic side, demands Su Chen give up the room as repayment for a loan. This adds a personal dimension to the conflict. Brother Hai threatens to throw Su Chen out of the room if he doesn't comply, escalating the tension further. His foot tapping suggests impatience and aggression. Su Chen suddenly pulls out a gun and shoots Big Brother, showing complete control over the situation. Big Brother catches the bullet right in his body, which is swollen from the heat. Brother Hai is shocked and in disbelief after being shot. He's sweating profusely, and a spot of blood is visible on his shirt, implying he's already been hurt. Su Chen points his gun at Big Brother and his group, warning them against any further advances. His expression is cold and determined. Brother Hai gives up, realizing he is outmatched by Su Chen and his weapon. He's sweating and his expression shows defeat. Miss Zhang and Wang Haoyu look on in surprise, as Su Chen seemingly prepares to shoot. Their reactions suggest they did not expect this escalation. Su Chen shoots and hurts Big Brother again. The gun is shown in detail, a Colt M1911A1. Big Brother cries out in pain, clutching his leg after being shot by Su Chen. The onlookers' reactions convey the seriousness of the situation. Su Chen pushes the injured Brother Hai out of his suite, demonstrating his ruthlessness. His action confirms his willingness to resort to violence to protect his haven. Su Chen demands Big Brother and his group disappear from his sight. His firm grip on the gun and stern expression show he's not to be trifled with. A tattooed, shirtless man angrily confronts the hotel staff about the lack of food. His imposing figure and tattoos suggest he is used to getting his way. A hotel employee explains the food shortage, attributing it to a large banquet booked a few days prior. Her expression reflects her helplessness in the situation. Mr. Sun pours water over himself, claiming the bottled water and impending food delivery. He appears to be exploiting the crisis for personal gain. The tattooed man's hoarding angers other survivors, who argue that resources should be shared. Their frustration highlights the moral dilemmas arising from the disaster. The tattooed man challenges anyone who disagrees with his hoarding. His threatening gesture suggests he's willing to use force to maintain control. Someone calls for help, reporting that Su Chen is killing someone. This news spreads quickly through the survivors. Survivors discuss the gunshot wound and the likelihood of someone upstairs, likely Su Chen, possessing a gun. One asks Big Brother about his condition, showing concern amidst the chaos. Miss Zhang reveals that Su Chen's room has electricity, air conditioning, and a swimming pool, sparking envy and outrage among the other survivors. Her expression and dialogue indicate she is relaying this information with some reluctance. Miss Zhang confirms the luxurious amenities in Su Chen's suite, describing it as heaven, further fueling the other survivors' desire for comfort. She describes seeing ice cubes, fried chicken, and alcohol. Survivors plot to confront Su Chen and seize his resources, highlighting the growing desperation and conflict among them. One man states, "Let's go up there and make that kid give up the ice cubes and air conditioning." Su Chen senses someone approaching his door, asking if something is wrong. The cool air escaping the slightly open door hints at the comfort within. The survivors, led by the tattooed man, arrive at Su Chen's door to discuss the situation. One remarks on the coolness of the room, contrasting their sweaty state. The survivors crowd into Su Chen's suite, seeking refuge from the heat. Their words suggest they are trying to persuade Su Chen to let them stay. A bowl of fried chicken and other snacks is presented. Likely from Su Chen's supplies, this suggests he may be offering food to appease the crowd. A child excitedly jumps into the room, shouting for fried chicken. This adds a layer of complexity to the situation, with a child now involved. Su Chen throws the child out of the room. This violent act shocks the onlookers and further escalates the conflict. The child's mother cries out in distress as other survivors watch in horror. The scene emphasizes the growing tension and potential for further violence. Su Chen orders the survivors to control their children, threatening to intervene if they don't. His stern demeanor indicates he's losing patience. The survivors question Su Chen's harsh treatment of the child. This raises questions about his morality and methods. The survivors demand that Su Chen be kicked out, demonstrating their collective disapproval of his actions. The focus is back on the central character and his ruthless nature. A group of survivors, led by the tattooed man, charge towards Su Chen, setting the stage for a physical confrontation. The tattooed man tells the group that Su Chen is alone. Two men look on in shock after charging in, suggesting they were quickly overpowered. Their shocked expressions indicate they underestimated Su Chen. The two men look on in shock and disbelief at their injured companion, demonstrating Su Chen's overwhelming power. The atmosphere is tense and filled with fear. Su Chen stands alone, gun in hand, stating that while he may be alone, his opponents only have one life. This highlights his willingness to kill and his confidence in his abilities. The next image shows the exterior of the Green City Hotel, implying the story will continue and leaving you guys wondering what will happen next. A group of men are panicking over their big brother Hai, who seems to be injured or possibly dead on the floor. One is blaming someone named Su Chen for their predicament. The men are further distressed, revealing that brother Hai's wound is infected and getting worse. Their rage and blame towards Su Chen intensifies. Two women outside a door are trying to convince Su Chen to let them in, claiming love and offering various services. One of them is even willing to sacrifice her friend Xiao Chen for a night with him. The women's pleas seem to have worked. Shocker, as Su Chen, our stoic protagonist, opens the door and lets them in, dryly remarking on their sisterly love. The two women are ecstatic that their plan worked, praising Su Chen's kindness. Little do they know what awaits them inside. A furious man, Wang, shoving the women aside, declaring his intent to kill Su Chen. Someone's about to get wrecked. Su Chen, ever the calm and collected lead player, stands at the door with a chilling warning. Anyone who walks through will die. Famous last words for some, I reckon. Su Chen doesn't disappoint. He makes good on his promise, swiftly taking down the charging man with a brutal strike. One down, who knows how many to go. Su Chen takes out the two women with similar ease. The speed and power displayed by our hero are quite impressive. After the swift takedowns, Su Chen chillingly asks, "Anyone else?" in a tone that suggests he's just getting warmed up. This protagonist is not messing around. The remaining two women are terrified, desperately restraining the remaining man and begging him not to go inside. Smart move, ladies. Su Chen, annoyed by the commotion, tells the terrified trio to get lost. He's got bigger fish to fry. Su Chen's determined expression confirms he's on a mission, though what his relationship with Xiao Chen is remains a mystery. A surveillance turret with machine guns is revealed. Su Chen's preparedness is next level. The caption, "MC is kind," is hilariously ironic given the previous panels. The treads of a heavily modified rescue vehicle come into view. Is this salvation for someone? The full rescue vehicle is revealed, its tires modified into treads and windows insulated. It looks ready to handle any harsh environment. A man named Sun De Biao from Sun Group offers a bribe of 1 billion for the insulated suits, wanting to leave immediately. Some people just don't understand the concept of shared hardship, do they? The soldiers subdue Sun De Biao. Seems like bribery isn't going to work this time. The soldiers prepare to leave, their mission seemingly accomplished for now, but leaving everyone else behind. This can't end well. One of the women, Hero's X, frantically warns the soldiers about a murderer upstairs, adding to the chaos. Oh boy, more trouble brewing. The women emphasize the danger, urging the soldiers to act and make a decision about what to do with Su Chen. One soldier, Zhaofeng, volunteers to stay behind, taking charge of the situation while the others retreat with the suits. A brave or perhaps foolish move. Zhaofeng ascends the stairs, determined to confront the alleged murderer. Here we go. Zhang Xiaochen, now sporting a sinister expression, reveals her plan to wait for Su Chen's death and then seek rescue. Definitely not playing the damsel in distress card. The scene shifts to a hallway, where Su Chen is presumably heading. The suspense is building. Zhaofeng cautiously searches the area, weapon at the ready. The hunt is on. The lead soldier notices something that piques his interest. What could it be? Zhaofeng spots a hidden camera, likely connected to Su Chen's surveillance system. He is getting close. Su Chen throws a device into the hallway. What could this be? Zhaofeng is caught off guard by the sudden attack. Things are about to get messy. Su Chen, ever the elusive central character, retreats from the hallway. Zhaofeng steps on the device, triggering it. Time to find out what it does. The soldiers' team leader realizes the device released tear gas. Not good for close quarters combat. Blinded and coughing, Zhaofeng struggles to maintain his composure. Su Chen is playing dirty. A metal bat flies through the air, aimed squarely at Zhaofeng. This can't be good. Zhaofeng, still affected by the tear gas, is disoriented and vulnerable. Su Chen, holding his gun, reveals the soldier identity as Lu Zhaofeng, deputy captain of the special forces. The tables have turned. Zhaofeng is now tied up and being questioned by Su Chen, who is curious about his equipment and knowledge. The power dynamic has completely shifted. Our hero claims he's a recent graduate and picked up his gear during a trip to the Middle East. Zhaofeng isn't buying it. Su Chen confirms Zhaofeng's knowledge of the government's rescue plan. He's onto him. Zhaofeng is taken aback by Su Chen's knowledge, questioning how he knows about the rescue plans. Busted. Su Chen explains that he's aware of the situation due to a past life experience. Reincarnation? This just took a supernatural turn. Zhaofeng contemplates Su Chen's words about survival and the rescue operation. Things just got real. Su Chen suggests using thick blankets for insulation. A surprisingly practical tip from the usually ruthless lead character. Zhao Feng expresses doubt, but Su Chen assures him of the blanket's effectiveness. Will he comply? Su Chen points a gun at Zhao Feng's head. Things got intense again. Zhao Feng begs for a chance to inform others about the blankets before being killed. At least he's thinking of others, even in the face of death. Su Chen agrees to use a walkie-talkie, cutting the ropes binding Zhao Feng. This feels like a trap. Zhao Feng reaches for the gun and asks if it is for him. He still thinks he has a chance. Su Chen explains his respect for Zhao Feng's actions but warns against further provocations. Playing mind games now, Zhao Feng taunts Su Chen, wondering if he isn't afraid of repercussions. He's definitely pushing his luck. Su Chen reveals a surveillance turret with facial recognition and machine guns, showing Zhao Feng he has the upper hand. Checkmate. Su Chen explains the turret's deadly capabilities, emphasizing his control over the situation. Zhao Feng messed with the wrong guy. Su Chen points out that he likely doesn't have the time to deal with Zhao Feng given the imminent rescue. A merciful execution? Zhao Feng understands his predicament. Acceptance or resignation? The rescue team departs, leaving some to wonder about Su Chen's power. He's definitely made an impression. Mr. Sun, a tattooed man we saw earlier, is frustrated at his inaction and vows to take charge. Here comes another challenger. Mr. Sun attacks a fellow survivor, venting his frustration. This guy's got some anger issues. Our main protagonist discusses Gao Chang's unstable nature and his dreams of restoring order. Two tattooed men threaten Su Chen, vowing to kill him. They're walking into a buzzsaw. The leader of the tattooed men stops the others, recognizing Su Chen. Oh, past beef? Su Chen states his intentions to make a deal with Boss Gao. Negotiation? This could get interesting. Su Chen throws a container of ice cubes onto the floor. What's he up to now? The tattooed men react with shock to the ice cubes. A treasure in this heated environment? The tattooed men are ecstatic about the ice, realizing its value. Su Chen knows how to manipulate a crowd. One of the tattooed men praises Su Chen's ingenuity. Definitely a change in attitude. Boss Gao offers to discuss a deal with Su Chen. Seems like the ice cubes did the trick. Boss Gao and the others relish the ice cubes, describing them as a lifesaver. Su Chen's plan is working perfectly. They agree to Su Chen's demands, planning to kill him later. Classic double-cross scenario. Mr. Sun attacks Gao Chang for hiding the ice. These guys really can't play nice. Mr. Sun threatens the group to reveal any other hidden supplies. He's not messing around. Gao Chang glares menacingly at the others, asserting his dominance. Someone's feeling powerful. One of the women, Miss Duan, comments on the usefulness of the ice, worrying about starvation. Practical concerns in a desperate situation. Mr. Sun De Biao tries to force himself on Duan Ya. This just took a dark turn. Duan Ya resists boss's advances. She's not backing down. Duan Ya retaliates, slapping Mr. Sun, "You go girl." Mr. De Biao threatens Duan Ya with sexual assault. This guy is truly despicable. Then he rips Duan Ya's clothes. This is getting uncomfortable to watch. Gao Chang intervenes, stopping Mr. Sun from assaulting Duan Ya. An unexpected savior? Mr. Sun angrily confronts Gao Chang. Looks like he doesn't appreciate being interrupted. Gao Chang strikes Boss Gao. This internal conflict is escalating quickly. The other tattooed men realize someone has been killed. The situation is descending into further chaos. The tattooed men Gao Chang take control, deciding to head to the rescue point. A desperate gamble. Our lead character observes the ensuing chaos, possibly contemplating his next move. Su Chen reflects on his influence on the situation. He's the puppet master pulling the strings. The ceiling is shown. A moment of calm before the next storm. The two women desperately beg for the ice water. Desperate times, desperate measures. Gao Chang pours the ice water over his head. A power move, or just enjoying a cool down? Boss Gao offers the women ice water in exchange for their compliance. He's still playing the game. The tattooed men debate going to the rescue point and question why they have kept a few freeloaders with them when resources are scarce. Every man for himself mentality. They realize they might need Su Chen for something. He's still got some value to them. Two women, wrapped in blankets, are finally escaping a dreadful place. They're dreaming of meat and cola at the rescue point after days of meager snacks. Classic post-apocalyptic cravings. Zhang is surprised that the long-haired, shirtless man questions her actions. She resents him for not letting her leave after Big Brother gave her ice water. The tension escalates. The long-haired man, who seems to be going rogue, rips off Yang's blanket and clothes. This guy is trouble. A group of people bravely venture into a scorching cityscape, wrapped in blankets. They're desperate to reach the rescue point, despite the dangers. One of the men reflects on the dire situation. Staying put means certain death by thirst, but the rescue point offers only a slim chance of survival. Talk about a tough choice. The brutal heat radiates from the ground, scorching even through makeshift footwear. This apocalyptic wasteland is no joke. A man in makeshift shoes trips over a small pebble and falls to the ground, and another man screams in horror as he watches the gruesome scene. The heat is claiming its victims. The melting man begs for help, but his pleas are met with the cold reality of the apocalypse. Survival comes first. More people collapse, unable to withstand the brutal heat. Survival is a lonely game in this place. The narrator delivers a chilling message. In the apocalypse, focus on surviving first. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Two large, burned men lie on the ground. Their bodies seem to have combusted from the inside, implying more at play than just the heat. A close-up reveals the horrific face of a mutated being. With glowing red eyes, something sinister is brewing. Our protagonist, Su Chen, stands on a balcony, contemplating his past life and the sacrifices made reaching this rescue point. He's a man with a history and likely a plan. The two women from the beginning frantically plead with the long-haired man to wait. They're terrified and offering to give him whatever he wants. The long-haired man mocks the women, calling them sluts and questioning their fear. He clearly enjoys their distress. A clawed, monstrous hand breaks through a window. Things are about to get much worse. The two burned men from earlier, now with glowing red eyes, crash through the window. They've become something else. The other men realize the horrifying truth. The burned men are now zombies. Panic sets in. The men face the zombies, wondering if a bite will turn them into one of the undead. It's a question we all ask ourselves during a zombie apocalypse, right? One man is challenged to find out if zombie bites are infectious, leading to a confrontation. Not the smartest move. The man is grabbed by the zombie, burning and screaming in agony. Looks like he found his answer the hard way. The long-haired man and his tattooed companion react to the burning man's plight, realizing the danger. His body temperature is alarmingly high. Su Chen calmly walks towards the commotion, seemingly unconcerned about the zombie threat. He's got an aura of confidence, or perhaps crazy recklessness. Su Chen pushes past the panicked men, carrying a sword. He's clearly not afraid of a little zombie brawl. The long-haired man observes Su Chen's bravery, or stupidity, with surprise. He's wondering what Su Chen's planning. The tattooed man proposes a cunning plan. Let Su Chen handle the zombies, and then they'll deal with him afterwards. Classic opportunistic thinking in an apocalypse. Su Chen explains that these aren't traditional zombies, but drought demons. Mutated corpses more akin to creatures from Chinese mythology. He's clearly knowledgeable about this apocalypse. Su Chen confirms he calls them drought demons. Solidifying his knowledge of the situation, the man has a plan. Our hero confronts the drought demons armed with his sword. Showtime. Su Chen explains that drought demons retain memories from their previous lives. This is going to be interesting. The lead character reveals that the drought demon was likely killed by someone named Gao Chang, fueling a desire for revenge. So we have some backstory drama too. Su Chen explains that another man, Wang Dehai, became a drought demon because Su Chen killed him. Our protagonist isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. Our boy prepares to attack the drought demon, recognizing this as Wang's opportunity for revenge. Let the games begin. Su Chen attacks, and the drought demon roars in response. This is an intense moment. The drought demon is enraged as Su Chen strikes. The protagonist retrieves a purple crystal nucleus from the drought demon, claiming it as his own. That looks important. Su Chen has the crystal, and now lets the other men deal with the remaining drought demon. He's using them as bait, effectively. Su Chen leaves the men to their fate, telling them to have fun. He's cold-blooded, that's for sure. One of the men curses as he watches Su Chen walk away, realizing their predicament. They've been played. The long-haired man berates one of his companions for being useless. Tensions are running high. The men struggle against the drought demon. It's not looking good for them. The men try to grab a weapon to fight the drought demon. A last-ditch effort for survival. Su Chen pours a drink, and we see the crystal nucleus he retrieved earlier. He knows what he's doing. Lead player prepares to swallow the crystal nucleus after cleaning it. A method of absorbing its power. This guy's got a system. Su Chen swallows the crystal nucleus. Power-up time. Hero's body reacts to the crystal's energy, indicating a transformation. Here comes the upgrade. Su Chen screams as his body transforms, the energy surging through him. This is a classic manhwa power-up scene. Our boy's body continues to mutate, exhibiting signs of enhanced strength. He has glowing eyes, and the transformation seems painful but powerful. Su Chen collapses, his body covered in markings. As the transformation takes its toll, the aftereffects are intense. The long-haired man kicks the drought demon aside, revealing their depleted water supply. Their situation has gone from bad to worse. The long-haired man threatens one of the women, Li Na, accusing her of trying to escape. He's losing control. The woman offers information on Su Chen in exchange for her safety. Desperate times call for desperate measures. The other woman, Zhang, overhears the plan to ambush Su Chen. Betrayal. Zhang agrees to cooperate in exchange for food, specifically meat. She has her priorities straight. Li Na is told the refrigerated meat is spoiled, but she still insists on having meat. She's not backing down. The tattooed man with a dark expression asks if Zhang wants meat, implying a sinister alternative. Oh no. The tattooed man offers Zhang a gruesome choice, holding a knife and implying cannibalism. Things are getting dark. Zhang reacts in horror as she realizes what kind of meat is being offered. This is messed up. Li Na witnesses the horrifying scene, terrified by Yang's actions. A large knife is held aloft, the weapon of choice for the impending atrocity. Zhang lunges, knife in hand, ready to betray her companion. This is a brutal twist. The woman pleads with Zhang, reminding her of their bond as sisters. Will Zhang reconsider? Yang's eyes glow red, indicating she's lost her humanity. She's going full-on villain. Zhang stabs her companion, refusing to be blamed for her actions. She's embracing the darkness. The two men witness the bloody betrayal, stunned by Yang's descent into madness. Zhang laughs maniacally, standing over her victim's body. She's fully embraced her villainous side. Zhang declares her intention to drink Su Chen's blood once she's sated. She's a real piece of work. One man suggests cooking the dead woman's flesh to gain strength for dealing with Su Chen. This is grim. The long-haired man insists on finding Duan Ya, emphasizing their need for a chef. He has a practical, if macabre, mindset. The long-haired man demands Duan Ya's location, his eyes blazing with urgency. Su Chen's eyes glow intensely as he activates his new abilities. The crystal is working. Our hero's movements significantly enhanced by the crystal. He's becoming a force to be reckoned with. Su Chen feels the improvements in his physique and strength. The power-up was a success. Our boy unleashes a powerful punch, demonstrating his newfound strength. He's ready for anything. The main protagonist notices someone else is present in the building. Intrigue. Duan Ya approaches, believing she has leverage in the chaotic situation. Little does she know. Su Chen confronts Duan Ya, his transformed body still visible. She's in for a surprise. Duan Ya reacts with a curious expression to Su Chen's changed appearance. Duan Ya calls Su Chen a scoundrel after he accidentally bumps into her. Awkward. Su Chen apologizes for the accidental bump and contemplates Duan Ya's strong will based on his past life experience. Duan Ya reveals her qualifications as both a chef and a surgeon, hoping to prove her worth. She's more than just a pretty face. Su Chen considers Duan Ya's offer, acknowledging the value of a doctor in their current situation. Duan Ya pledges to do anything to stay, even slightly regretting her hasty words. Su Chen allows Duan Ya to stay, and she realizes she may have overshared a little. Oops, he then warns Duan Ya to behave herself and avoid ulterior motives. He's not someone to be trifled with. Duan Ya assures Su Chen of her understanding and unwavering determination. Su Chen, with glowing eyes, instructs Duan Ya to remove her clothes. Oh. Duan Ya blushes and asks if it's time to start. This could go a few ways. The scene shifts to a luxurious shower, highlighting the comfort and safety of their current location. Compared to the outside world, it's a stark contrast to the wasteland outside. Duan Ya enjoys a shower, grateful for the haven they've found. Su Chen offers Duan Ya something different to eat. This is ominous. Duan Ya blushes and reacts with surprise to Su Chen's offer. We're on the edge of our seats. Su Chen uses his phone to monitor Duan Ya while she showers. He claims it's to prevent her from doing anything improper. Sure, buddy. Our boy watches Duan Ya closely, making sure she doesn't cause any trouble. Duan Ya walks gracefully, unaware of Su Chen's surveillance. Duan Ya models a nurse outfit, wondering if it's too small. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Su Chen assures Duan Ya the outfit is perfect, much to her relief. Someone frantically bangs on the door, begging Su Chen for help. Trouble is coming. A menacing figure with sharp teeth threatens to break down the door if Su Chen doesn't come out soon. The woman looks terrified, while our hero observes the situation with a weary, "Here we go again." Inside, a pink-haired nurse tries to stop Su Chen from opening the door. Miss Duan warns him that those people have already eaten someone named Li Na, and they will suffer the same fate if they open the door. Su Chen, our brooding protagonist, reacts with a shocked, "You mean they ate someone?" His glowing purple eyes hint at a hidden power within. The antagonists, a trio of creepy-looking guys with glowing red eyes and unnerving smiles, warn against breaking the door. the bandaged woman pleads with Su Chen to save her. The creepy trio, clearly not friendly neighborhood watch types, leer menacingly, anticipating Su Chen's emergence. Their hee sends chills down your spine. One of the antagonists, armed with a wicked-looking blade, lunges at Su Chen as he opens the door. The suspense is palpable. The antagonist swings his blade with a furious die, but Su Chen appears remarkably calm, classic manhwa protagonist move. Su Chen, showcasing superhuman speed and reflexes, catches the attacker's blade barehanded. This guy's clearly not your average Joe. With impressive force, Su Chen twists the antagonist's arm, breaking it and sending him reeling. The intensity is ramped up with dynamic motion lines. The other two antagonists look on in shock. This isn't going according to plan, and their surprised expressions are priceless. Back in the now chaotic room, Zhang tries to escape the clutches of the remaining antagonists. She cries out, "Let me go." The woman continues her desperate flight, calling for Su Chen's help again as she's dragged back. Her torn clothes indicate the struggle she's endured. Oh no! The Yang's face contorts into a monstrous visage complete with sharp teeth and glowing red eyes, signifying she's also been eaten. Su Chen witnesses the woman's transformation and is simply disgusted. The woman's monstrous hand reaches for him, claws outstretched. The two original antagonists discuss the end of the world, rationalizing their cannibalistic behavior as a means of survival. Classic villain logic, right? One of the antagonists, now fully transformed, relishes the taste of human flesh and sets his sights on Su Chen as his next meal. Gulp. The now monstrous woman attacks Su Chen, eager to taste his flavor. Things are getting messy, folks. Su Chen delivers a devastating kick to the woman's stomach, sending her flying backward. He's not messing around. The woman crashes through a window and plummets from the high-rise building. This is one way to make a dramatic exit. The monstrous woman, surprisingly agile, manages to grab the ledge, her sharp claws digging into the wall. She's not giving up that easily. The woman, dangling precariously, vows revenge on Su Chen. Talk about holding a grudge. A close-up on the woman's face reveals the extent of her monstrous transformation. Yikes. The woman screams as she continues to fall from the building. It's getting hot in here. The two remaining antagonists decide to attack Su Chen together. 2 against 1 doesn't seem fair, but our hero's proved himself so far. Su Chen coolly ponders whether he even needs to use bullets on these guys. He oozes confidence. One antagonist leaps towards Su Chen, warning him not to underestimate him. Famous last words? Su Chen reveals his penchant for wasting as he shoots the leaping antagonist. The remaining antagonists decide to spread out, making themselves harder targets. A smart tactic, but is it enough against Su Chen? Su Chen calmly shoots another antagonist while dodging attacks. This guy is a multitasking master. One of the antagonists tries to attack Su Chen from above. The perspective really highlights the dynamic action. Close up on the tattooed antagonist as he prepares to strike. His feral grin promises nothing good. Su Chen grabs the antagonist's arm, asking if he's done talking. Looks like the talking's over. Our hero unleashes a powerful blow, sending the antagonist crashing into the ground. This fight is getting seriously intense. Su Chen effortlessly deflects an attack from the bald antagonist. He's practically toying with them at this point. Main lead dispatches the bald antagonist with a swift spinning move. Goodbye, Baldy. The last remaining antagonist charges Su Chen with a furious roar. He's the last one standing, but for how long? Another extreme close-up emphasizes the antagonist's rage and monstrous features. Those teeth. Su Chen blocks the final antagonist's attack, shattering a window behind him in the process. The protagonist's strength is on full display here. A tendril-like appendage emerges from the fallen antagonist, latching onto Su Chen. Things are getting weird. Main protagonist, unfazed, stares intently. What's he planning now? Zhang Xiaochen, engulfed in flames and sporting demonic horns, bursts through the broken window. A new player has entered the game. Zhang Xiaochen lands gracefully, facing Su Chen. The fiery aura surrounding her screams danger. Su Chen recognizes the newcomer as Zhang Xiaochen. It looks like he knows her. Sure thing. A close-up of Zhang Xiaochen's fiery eye, highlighting her rapid and intense transformation. Her attachment must run deep indeed. Su Chen grabs the original antagonist by the throat, stating his intention to kill him again since he won't disappear. This guy is relentless. Zhang Xiaochen roars, releasing her full monstrous power. She's ready to rumble. The pink-haired nurse, observing the scene, expresses awe at Su Chen's ability to take down Gao Chang's gang. Sounds like these guys had a reputation. The nurse, however, senses the immense danger emanating from the monstrous Zhang Xiaochen. This new threat is on a whole other level. The nurse contemplates finding a way to help Su Chen, determined not to be a burden. She's more than just a damsel in distress. Su Chen stands his back to the viewer, seemingly awaiting his next move. The tension is building. The pink-haired nurse, Miss Duan, armed with a whip, offers her assistance to Su Chen in defeating the monster. "Let's go, Nurse San." Su Chen questions whether she can actually help him. He's skeptical, but desperate times. Our boy suspects the nurse will only distract him. He doesn't mince words. Zhang Xiaochen growls menacingly. "This monster means business." Zhang roars, her face filling the panel, showcasing her sharp teeth and glowing red eyes. "This is a nightmare come to life." Zhang Xiaochen lunges at Su Chen, her flaming form swirling with motion. The dynamic pose adds to the sense of speed and power. Su Chen narrows his eyes, focusing his energy. He's ready to face this new challenge. Lead character counters Yang's attack with a burst of energy. The impact looks devastating. The pink-haired nurse looks on in shock. This fight is escalating quickly. Su Chen's shirt rips apart, revealing glowing lines on his body as he activates his berserker mode. This is where things get really interesting. Zhang Xiaochen roars in pain as Su Chen's attack connects. It seems berserker mode is no joke. Su Chen, now shirtless and radiating power, stands over the momentarily stunned Zhang Xiaochen. He's a force to be reckoned with. Zhang Xiaochen attacks again, her jaws wide open, ready to bite Su Chen. This is getting up close and personal. He taunts her, asking if her fangs are just for show. Savage. Su Chen declares, "It's my turn now," as he prepares to retaliate. The tables have turned. Then he grabs Zhang Xiaochen's flaming arm. Time for payback. Su Chen throws Zhang Xiaochen with incredible force. This is a brutal display of power. Our hero stomps on Zhang Xiaochen's back. He's completely dominating this fight. Su Chen stands over the defeated Zhang Xiaochen, asking if she's ready for the next round. He's not letting up. Our lead rips off one of Zhang Xiaochen's arms. This is getting gruesome. Su Chen slams Zhang Xiaochen into the ground. Ouch. Zhang Xiaochen roars in pain as Su Chen continues his relentless assault. Su Chen remarks that this was just the first round. This is going to be a long fight. Zhang Xiaochen lies on the ground, her body partially regenerated, demonstrating her incredible regenerative abilities. This just makes the fight more interesting. Su Chen is intrigued by Zhang Xiaochen's ability to regenerate severed limbs. The pink-haired nurse is stunned by Zhang Xiaochen's regenerative ability. Su Chen comments, "That's great." His reaction surprises Miss Duan. Our hero realizes that her regeneration means she's not so easy to kill after all. This adds a new dimension to the fight. Su Chen grins, noting that this means he can tear her apart many times over. Oh dear. Zhang Xiaochen braces for another attack. Here we go again. He grabs Zhang Xiaochen by the shoulder, ready to inflict more damage. Su Chen, holding Zhang Xiaochen's severed arm, decides to test the limits of her regeneration, starting with her left hand. This guy is a scientist of pain. The lead player continues his gruesome experiment, moving on to the right hand. This is brutal. He tears off Zhang Xiaochen's legs. He's going all out. Su Chen declares the first round over. This is just the beginning, apparently. Zhang Xiaochen, her limbs severed, begins to regenerate again. She's like a horror movie villain. Su Chen, a sadistic glint in his eyes, taunts her before starting round 2. The story continues mid-battle with a fierce, demon-like creature roaring in pain. It seems our protagonist is putting it through the ringer in the third round of a brutal fight. This is a flashback explaining the demon's incredible regenerative abilities. It can regrow limbs and even internal organs, making it a formidable foe. The narration continues, explaining that after 21 regeneration attempts, it stopped. Our hero, Su Chen, stands over the downed demon. He explains he could have continued to torture it but chose not to because, unlike the demon, he isn't a devil. The demon, barely conscious, struggles to understand Su Chen's reasoning for stopping the attack. Su Chen, radiating an intimidating aura, prepares to explain his motivations. Flashback time. Su Chen remembers a conversation with a pink-haired woman, his ex-girlfriend, who seems to have urged him to take revenge. Su Chen's motivation is revealed. Revenge. His foot comes crashing down on the demon, a clear visual of his vengeful intent. Our hero, powered up and emanating a fierce energy, stands victorious over his defeated enemy. The scene shifts. A concerned pink-haired nurse, Miss Duan, checks on Su Chen, asking if he's okay. We're in a more peaceful setting now, phew. Su Chen, still glowing with residual power, asks the nurse if she's ready. Ooh, things are getting interesting. The nurse, confused and slightly worried, asks, "Ready for what?" Looks like Su Chen has some plans, if you know what I mean, winking face. Su Chen, being the smooth operator he is, suggests that the nurse should reward him for his heroic actions. The setting and the suggestive pose hint at a romantic encounter. True Casanova. The scene abruptly changes to a rescue point in a city, with the outside temperature apparently returning to normal. Is the apocalypse ending? Someone, likely a survivor, wonders if the apocalypse is truly coming to an end, reaching a hand out to test the air. A soldier, addressed as Captain, appears, signaling that there's more to the situation than meets the eye. The captain informs someone, possibly Bai Kang, about a large group of people approaching the rescue point. Trouble is brewing. Bai Kang, a tough-looking female soldier, looks on with concern. The approaching group doesn't seem friendly. It's a zombie horde. The fiery glow within them suggests these aren't your run-of-the-mill undead. Bai Kang's shocked expression confirms the gravity of the situation. This is a serious threat. The captain orders an evacuation of the civilians, heroically deciding to hold off the horde himself. Brave, but potentially suicidal. The captain reiterates his order, and his comrades plead with him not to die. Classic heroic sacrifice setup. The captain yells at his team to get out while he faces the overwhelming horde. This man is truly dedicated. Back to Su-chen. He's about to unleash his berserker power. This guy just doesn't stop. Our Casanova is back with the nurse. She is shocked by his assertiveness and doesn't realize how many more times he can demand her love. "Oh baby, you're so good." Su-chen, seemingly unfazed, explains he has more to offer the pink-haired nurse. He promises some unforgettable memories before he embarks on a new journey. Our hero sets some conditions for the people he's taking with him. They must be valuable and must obey his orders without question. Su-chen activates some sort of futuristic technology, perhaps his vehicle. What for? He needs to hurry before the seawater surges in, implying a time-sensitive mission or a recurring environmental disaster. He's definitely getting that Hummer. A flashback explains that a zombie-induced tidal wave caused widespread devastation and scattered military weapons in Su-chen's past life. Some survivors, clearly not the good guys, celebrate the chaos and the availability of looted weapons, marking the beginning of different factions. The not-so-friendly survivors try to stop Su-chen's car, likely intending to rob him. Su-chen questions their sanity for trying to rob him at such a dangerous time. He's not impressed. One of the would-be robbers, realizing Su-chen is not to be trifled with, curses in shock. Su-chen doesn't slow down, driving right through the roadblock and sending the thugs flying. He's got places to be. The shocked expression of a thug says it all. This isn't how they expected things to go. Su-chen drives on, remembering the subway collapse caused by the same zombie onslaught and scorching sun from his previous life. Our hero observes the zombies attracted by the sound of his car. He notes the crystals in their heads but recognizes the impracticality of cracking them open one by one. Su-chen decides to check the situation at his former college, the engineering university, a place he hasn't visited since graduation. He arrives at the research institute, the futuristic glow of his vehicle still prominent. Su-chen enters the research institute. Two figures with fiery patterns reminiscent of the first demon lurk in the background. Inside the institute, a zombie confronts Su-chen. He seems to be chained up, suggesting he might be a captive or experiment. More chained zombies demand Su-chen's backpack. They seem to control this territory. Su-chen, ever resourceful, offers them braised chicken legs as a distraction. Unknown people naturally are excited about the chicken legs. Who wouldn't be? Su-chen tosses a chicken leg, classic bait-and-switch incoming. The chicken leg hits the ground, sparking chaos as the zombies scramble for it. People begin to fight among themselves for the chicken leg. A perfect opportunity for Su-chen to, what? Close up on the desperate scramble for the chicken leg, showcasing some comical expressions. Su-chen retrieves the chicken leg, declaring it's too good for them. Savage. The angered survivors charge at Su-chen. Su-chen, now armed with a pistol, is more than ready to deal with them. Su-chen easily takes down these idiots, reflecting on how lessons from his past life are helping him save more people this time around. Su-chen walks down a hallway towards the Department of Reptiles and Snakes, his next objective. He breaks a lock. Nothing can stop this guy. Su-chen notes the decaying smell and the dead snakes inside the lab. Something big must have happened here. He's found something, and judging by his expression, it's significant. It's a massive snake, identified as the future leader of the water rattlesnake army and a golden king snake. Su-chen observes the snake, realizing how it survived. This snake is clearly important to the story. Our hero recalls this snake from his past life. It underwent a drastic mutation and ate many people, almost including him. Su-chen contemplates the snake's imminent mutation and the potential trouble it poses. He needs to become stronger to defeat it. He senses the snake's evolved intelligence, realizing he must proceed with caution. Su-chen hears something. He knows someone's there. He senses another group of survivors, armed and looking for trouble. These guys look just as shady as the last ones. The group emerges, demanding Su-chen come out of hiding. Su-chen tells them he's busy and can't be disturbed, I don't think they'll take that well. The main protagonist senses something or someone, and he's not happy about it. It's Bai Kang. The thugs found her hiding and are about to attack. Bai Kang leaps into action, attacking the thugs. This lady's got skills. Bai Kang expertly takes down 2 thugs. She's a force to be reckoned with. She dispatches another thug. Bai Kang is clearly not someone to mess with. 1 thug goes down. Bai Kang's on a roll. Bai Kang takes down another one with brutal efficiency. Su Chen compliments Bai Kang's fighting skills, but she disarms him, and Bai Kang easily overpowers Su Chen, asking him, "Why can't I twist?" Unexpectedly, he pinned the girl to the ground. Su Chen, now holding a gun on Bai Kang, demands to know who she is. Bai Kang is tied up, showing just how quickly the tables have turned. She asks what's going on. Bai Kang introduces herself as the captain of the Azure Tiger Special Operations Team, advising Su Chen to release her. I doubt he will. Su Chen asks if she knows someone named Zhaofeng from the Special Forces. He then reveals he once saved Zhaofeng's life, hinting at a past connection. Bai Kang acknowledges Su Chen's words. He's cooking a steak. Talk about a change of pace. Our hero stabs the steak with a fork while the girl is about to share Zhaofeng's story. Bai Kang explains how Zhaofeng led civilians to safety during a zombie attack, but escaped prisoners infiltrated the group. Su Chen, enjoying his steak, tells Bai Kang it's not entirely her fault for what happened to Zhaofeng. He's not completely heartless, it seems. Bai Kang, still tied up, asks to be released. She's getting impatient. The captain negotiates for her release, asking not to be treated like before. She also wants some steak. The cut ropes symbolize Bai Kang's free position. She is untied, both literally and figuratively. Bai Kang picks up a gun, stating she can only provide Su Chen with firepower support for his plan. Su Chen is on his way to do his own thing, leaving Bai Kang with a gun. Bai Kang realizes this might be their only encounter. Su Chen asks about supplies. The captain stops Su Chen before he leaves. She's got something to say. Su Chen offers to help Bai Kang, motivated by his connection to his brother Zhaofeng. This guy has a huge sniper rifle already stocked in his backpack, just in case. The scene shifts to the administrative block, where a new confrontation is about to unfold. Inside, a powerful-looking boss surrounded by armed men and women asks for a report. He doesn't look friendly at all. One of the men reports on their plan to attack students in the dorm. This sounds ominous. The boss agrees, eager to punish those who weren't cooperative. One of the thugs is alerted by something breaking. It's Su Chen, making a dramatic entrance and apologizing for interrupting their meeting. This can only end in a fight. Our protagonist, Su Chen, infiltrates a heavily guarded area, shocking the buff guards who question his method of entry. Their surprise is understandable. 20 guards outside and he waltzed right in. Su Chen, cool as a cucumber, feigns ignorance about his infiltration, making the guards wonder if he's messing with them. This guy has got some serious skills, or maybe just insane luck. He casually points as if casting some sort of spell and declares, just like this, oh boy, here we go. This is giving me overpowered protagonist vibes already. With a bang bang and a glowing purple eye, Su Chen unleashes some kind of energy attack. Finger guns of doom. This is definitely not a normal dude. The lead guard, directly in the path of Su Chen's attack, gets hit. Judging by the impact lines and the surprised expressions of the other guards, this isn't a tickle fight. The guards are in chaos. Their leader is down and they're witnessing something beyond their comprehension. They exclaim in horror, trying to understand how he just dropped dead. Su Chen, still radiating power, warns the remaining thugs not to move or they'll face the same fate. Talk about an entrance. He's definitely established dominance. A furious antagonist, presumably their boss, yells at Su Chen to stop fooling around. Clearly, he doesn't grasp the severity of the situation he's just stumbled into. Through a sniper scope, we see the antagonist now dead on the floor, confirming Su Chen's deadly accuracy. Target eliminated, indeed. This is swift justice. A female character, Bai Kang, is positioned on a rooftop with a sniper rifle, covering our lead player. She warns him of the danger still lurking inside. Looks like a coordinated effort. The sniper expresses her concern about the protagonist's risky plan to lure the enemies alone. She's definitely the more cautious of the two. Our main protagonist instructs Bai Kang to take position with her sniper rifle while he acts as bait. A classic tactic, but with this protagonist, it feels less like a trap and more like a slaughterhouse invitation. Bai Kang focuses intently through her scope, preparing to take out targets as the protagonist calls them out. Girl's got her game face on. The sniper's scope focuses on a suddenly closed curtain, obstructing her view. Something's not right. Bai Kang is startled by the closed curtain and asks the protagonist for a status update. That's one way to foil a sniper, I guess. The antagonist mocks Su Chen, believing he can't achieve his objectives with just a sniper from outside. Bai Kang, realizing she's been spotted, makes a quick escape across the rooftops. Time for plan B. Leaping across a stairwell, our beauty tells the protagonist to find a way to stall the time. This girl is all kinds of badass. Frustrated, the villain orders his men to kill Su Chen. Things are escalating quickly. Bai Sang bursts through the door with her weapon drawn, ready to cover her new friend with fire. Girl's got a one-track mind right now, revenge. The protagonist stands among the defeated enemies, discovering the supplies are missing. This is adding another layer of mystery to the plot. The protagonist's hand glows with a mysterious energy as he approaches a wall, seemingly searching for something. Secret passage, hidden stash, who knows? The villain tries to use his powerful backing as a shield, believing the protagonist won't dare to kill him. Classic villain mistake. The protagonist silences the villain with his power, hinting that the villain's backers will meet the same end soon. He's not playing around. Bai Sang is stunned by the carnage created by the protagonist single-handedly. She probably expected more resistance, and less hanging. The protagonist downplays his brutal efficiency, claiming the enemies were already weakened due to lack of supplies. Modest and deadly, what a combo. He offers to share some of his own supplies, adding a condition that their behavior determines how much. He's clearly in control here. Su Chen suggests going to the girls' dormitory, leaving Bai Kang curious about the reason. Where is this going? He explains that other students are gathered at the girls' dormitory. Seems like a strategic gathering point in this chaotic situation. Tied-up figures are seen hanging from the windows, increasing the tension. This gives off creepy vibes. What's happening here? Another female character, also tied up and hanging, comes into view. The situation is looking grim. Are these hostages? A close-up of the female character's face shows an intense glare, suggesting defiance and strength despite her predicament. She's not giving up without a fight. A masked character comments on someone causing trouble, probably referring to the protagonist. New antagonist on the scene? The masked character, apparently finding a captive captain, orders his men to bring her down. This is getting complicated. Someone cuts the ropes, freeing the tied-up female captain, Sister Jia. Looks like a rescue, but maybe not by a friend. Sister Jia speaks to Steelfang, revealing she was pretending to be captured, and she wants comfort after her near-death experience. She seems unfazed by the ordeal. The masked character reacts to Sister Jia's words, holding a thorny whip, and asks, "Is that so? Oh, I don't like where this is going." He lashes out with the thorny whip. This is not going to be pleasant. Sister Jia cries out in pain after being struck by the whip. This masked guy is definitely not a nice guy. The masked villain asks Sister Jia how she feels after the whipping. He's enjoying this a bit too much. Sister Jia, despite the pain, seems aroused by the experience. This took a dark turn. The masked villain sits with Sister Jia on his lap, asking about his missing supplies. This scene is unsettling. Still holding Sister Jia, the villain demands the name of the person who took the supplies, promising revenge. He's going to start another war. Sister Jia reveals the protagonist's name, Su Chen. Well, there it is. The protagonist's identity is now exposed to the villain. The scene shifts to the girls' dormitory, where Zhaofeng is asked about her injuries. Looks like the action is moving to a new location. Zhaofeng and Bai Kang are reunited with the protagonist, who is mistaken for Zhaofeng's brother. This could be a useful misunderstanding. The protagonist checks Zhaofeng's seemingly worsening injury. Looks like medical expertise might also be one of his hidden skills. Zhaofeng reveals the injury is infected due to cannibals, highlighting the danger of infection without medicine. This raises the stakes in this post-apocalyptic setting. Zhaofeng worries about the lack of medicine, and the protagonist offers some, solving an immediate problem. Always prepared. The wounded man is surprised that the protagonist gave him the medicine. Su Chen repeats that he is his brother. The protagonist reflects on a god of war from his past life and his investment in Lu Zhaofeng, suggesting he sees potential in him. Intriguing backstory. Zhaofeng asks the protagonist what he wants in return for the medicine, acknowledging his earlier help. Time for a favor to be called in. Su Chen warns them about an impending flood, urging them to evacuate. This changes everything. The protagonist explains the cause of the flood: extreme heat melting glaciers and raising sea levels. A dire situation indeed. A new female character, Fang Qing, dismisses the flood warning as nonsense. She's either brave, foolish, or has another agenda. The protagonist recognizes Fang Qing as a rich and famous female boxer from their university who likes to stir up gender conflict. Troublemaker alert. Fang Qing asks Su Chen if he has food in his bag, I'm sensing a confrontation brewing. She reaches out and slap. The protagonist slaps Fang Qing, taking her by surprise. This escalated quickly. Fang Qing reacts in shock after being slapped. This isn't going how she envisioned it. Others, fed up with Fang Qing, encourage kicking her out. Looks like she's not popular. Fang Qing threatens to get revenge with her father's help. Spoiled brat alert. Bai Kang asks the protagonist if he's okay with Fang Qing's threats and her going to find her father. This could be a bigger problem than it seems. Fang Qing boasts about her father's influence and looks down on men in the country, including Su Chen. She's asking for trouble. The masked villain captures Fang Qing. Her boasting backfired spectacularly. The protagonist entrusts Captain Bai with the evacuation process and leaves. He's got other things to worry about. Then Su Chen looks up information on hydrokinesis, hinting at potential new abilities. Always good to have a superpower up your sleeve. We see a close-up of a vehicle's tire as Fang Qing cries out for Su Chen's help. She's in trouble again, and her arrogance isn't helping. The protagonist, seemingly finding Fang Qing, asks if it's her. This could be a rescue or something else entirely. Fang Qing, tied up and hanging from a crane attached to a truck, pleads for help. It seems her father's influence couldn't protect her from this. The masked villain appears, questioning Su Chen's audacity to snatch supplies and thinking him a three-headed, six-armed mythical being. He seems misinformed. The protagonist confirms he's Su Chen. Now the villain knows who he's dealing with. The masked villain mentions a prepared gift for the meeting, hinting at a trap. Never trust a villain bearing gifts. The villain opens the doors of a shipping container, revealing a horde of grotesque monsters. This is bad, very bad. The villain asks Su Chen if he's ready to die as he faces the released monsters. The protagonist is outnumbered but not necessarily outmatched. Captain Bai and Lu notice the direction the protagonist went. They're going after him. The girl wants to check on the protagonist while Xiaofeng stands guard, but Xiaofeng refuses to stay behind. Loyal companion, screams and more hanging figures. The villain is continuing his reign of terror. The villain dangles Fang Qing in front of the protagonist, tempting him to play the hero. This is a classic villain move. Is Su Chen going to play along? Fang Qing urges him to hurry up and kneel to save her. She hasn't learned her lesson about arrogance. The protagonist reveals there's a problem. Oh no, what is it now? Fang Qing questions the protagonist's hesitation to save her. She's losing patience fast. Fang Qing furiously accuses the protagonist of going back on his word. Her anger is reaching a boiling point. The protagonist taunts her, refusing to save her and suggesting she seek help from foreign gentlemen. He's not here for her attitude. Fang Qing realizes his taunt is related to her earlier insult about men in their country being inferior. Karma is a dish best served hanging from a crane. Fang Qing continues to refuse to apologize, claiming she doesn't need his help. She's still playing tough even in this situation. The protagonist, with a smirk, tells her to remember her words. He's got something up his sleeve. Fang Qing is lowered towards the horde of monsters. This is brutal. Fang Qing screams for help, realizing the gravity of her situation. Too late for apologies now. Surrounded by the monsters, Fang Qing begs Su Chen to save her. Finally admitting she was wrong, she's learned humility the hard way. The villain mocks the protagonist for not intervening. He's enjoying this a little too much. The baddie prepares to demonstrate the technology of the Federal Bureau of Evolution, holding a container of what looks like some kind of powder. What is he planning? The villain instructs the protagonist to apply the powder to control the monsters. Is he actually trying to help, or is this another trap? Su Chen contemplates the villain's suggestion to apply bone ashes to blend in with the monsters. This seems questionable. The villain spits out the powder, finding the idea of using bone ash disgusting. Guess that was a fake offer of help. The masked man orders the monsters to attack the protagonist. The battle begins. Su Chen faces off against the monster horde, emanating a powerful aura. He's ready to fight. The protagonist manifests energy blades. Let's see what he can do. He then unleashes a flurry of attacks with the energy blades, slicing through the monsters. This is awesome. Our hero descends with twin glowing purple blades, emanating an aura of imminent action. His crimson eyes and determined expression hint at a formidable power. Landing gracefully in a crouched position, our hero brandishes his weapons, sparking with energy. The dynamic motion lines emphasize his swift and powerful movements. A masked antagonist, clearly perturbed, clutches his shoulder, realizing Su Chen isn't playing around. He curses Su Chen's audacity to challenge him. Startled, the masked man questions Su Chen's sudden appearance, completely caught off guard by our hero's unexpected arrival. The crowd in the background adds a sense of urgency and danger. Two characters, Lu Xiaofeng and Bai Kang, are seen walking into the frame. Captain Bai expresses concern for Su Chen, highlighting her worry and implying Su Chen might be in danger. The close-up emphasizes her reaction to the unfolding situation. Standing atop a truck, the masked antagonist is surrounded by a crowd of what appear to be infected individuals. He seems to be leading or controlling them, creating a menacing presence. The masked antagonist urges his followers to attack, displaying frustration at their hesitation. The close-up on his masked face emphasizes his growing anger. Su Chen calmly states that shouting is pointless, suggesting he's already dealt with the threat. His confident demeanor contrasts sharply with the masked man's panic. The masked man, bewildered, demands an explanation from Su Chen. Unable to comprehend the situation, the close-up highlights his confusion and fear. Standing amidst the now incapacitated infected individuals, Su Chen reveals he's already taken care of them. Much to the masked man's shock, the purple energy lines symbolize his power and the defeated state of the infected. The masked antagonist expresses disbelief at Su Chen's effortless victory, overwhelmed by the protagonist's power. The dynamic lines radiating outwards emphasize the impact of Su Chen's actions. Su Chen walks away, leaving the stunned antagonist behind, demonstrating his nonchalant attitude towards the defeated enemy. The focus on his shoe implies a confident stride and a sense of finality. Confronting the masked antagonist, Su Chen questions his involvement with the Bureau of Evolution. The antagonist's shocked expression confirms his affiliation, deepening the mystery surrounding this organization. Su Chen grabs the masked man's face, demanding to know who ordered the attack. The forceful grip and intense gaze signal Su Chen's determination to uncover the truth. The main character threatens the antagonist, refusing to spare him if he doesn't cooperate. The close-up and strained expression on the masked man's face emphasize the threat's gravity. Su Chen's intense gaze, glowing with purple energy, foreshadows impending violence. His expression is a mix of anger and determination. The masked man laughs maniacally as Su Chen's grip tightens. This suggests either a last act of defiance or a hint of madness. Su Chen holds up the lifeless body of the masked man, the scene bathed in magenta hues. This symbolizes Su Chen's decisive victory and reinforces his ruthless efficiency. A female character, observing the aftermath, expresses astonishment at Su Chen's swift and brutal takedown. Her reaction underscores Su Chen's overwhelming power. Su Chen reflects that dealing with weaker opponents requires him to hold back his full strength. He contemplates the need for a capable assistant. He's holding the masked man's head like a bowling ball, which, let's be honest, is pretty badass. The scene shifts to a hotel building, hinting at a change in location and possibly a new arc in the story. Inside the hotel room, a pink-haired woman cries out, possibly from a nightmare or a sudden disturbance. The suggestive pose adds an element of vulnerability and intrigue. The woman calls out a name, Su Chen, revealing a connection to our protagonist. Her expression is a mix of fear and desperation. The woman pleads with Su Chen not to leave her, highlighting her dependence on him and adding a touch of drama. The woman reveals she dreamt of Su Chen, wondering why he hasn't returned yet. This suggests a romantic interest or a strong bond between them. Miss Duan sits on the bed, lost in thought, still concerned about Su Chen's absence. This further emphasizes her attachment to him. Su Chen appears before the woman, questioning her usefulness and right to stay by his side. The intense close-up and contrasting colors accentuate the tension between them. Holding a gun, the woman declares her desire to be Su Chen's right-hand person, proving her commitment and determination. The woman, now more composed, holds the gun with a determined expression. The scene suggests she is about to confront someone or investigate something. Miss Duan investigates a room with her gun drawn, suspecting the source of a mysterious voice is within. The scene builds suspense and anticipation. The woman's eyes widen in fear, reacting to something unseen in the room. The close-up emphasizes her sudden terror. The woman sees a reflection of glowing eyes in her own, suggesting a supernatural or monstrous presence is very close. A monstrous figure with glowing eyes and sharp teeth appears behind the woman, catching her completely by surprise. The monster grabs Miss Duan, its fiery skin contrasting sharply with her dress. Her shocked expression reveals her vulnerability and impending danger. The woman's hand reaches for the dropped gun, her last hope for defense against the monster. Remembering her weapon, Miss Duan focuses on retrieving the gun as her only means of escape. The close-up highlights the urgency of the situation. The monster lunges toward the woman, its shadow looming over her, leaving her with a split second to react. Reaching desperately for the gun, The woman's fingers brush against it, agonizingly close to grasping her only weapon. The monster's snarl and glowing eyes are terrifyingly close to Miss Duan. The scene is filled with a sense of imminent danger. The monster's roar intensifies as it closes in on the woman, her situation becoming increasingly dire. Miss Duan kicks the monster in the face with her high heel, a desperate attempt to defend herself. This unexpected act of defiance shows her resilience. The monster grabs the woman's leg, its fiery hand contrasting with her skin, overpowering her defense. The woman reacts with surprise, possibly sensing a change in the monster's behavior. The monster roars again, its face filling the panel. The intense close-up makes the roar seem more visceral. Miss Duan delivers another high-heel kick, connecting squarely with the monster's face. This repeated attack demonstrates her resourcefulness in the face of danger. The woman continues to fight back, pinning the monster down while searching for its crystal core. This reveals her knowledge of these creatures and her strategic thinking. Miss Duan prepares to examine the monster's head, seeking the crystal core that holds its power. She remains determined and resourceful despite the perilous situation. The scene cuts to an exposition panel detailing the evacuation efforts at Engineering University, led by Bai Kang and Lu Xiaofeng, following Su Chen's advice. The image shows a girls' dormitory, highlighting the focus on protecting the students from the ongoing disaster. Bai Kang contacts Bai Ming, requesting military support to ensure the students' safety, demonstrating proactive leadership and cooperation. The story shifts to a laboratory containing reptiles and snakes, one of which Su Chen had taken special note of. It is revealed that this snake has started to mutate, adding another layer of complexity to the plot. Su Chen observes the mutating snake, anticipating its transformation. This indicates he is aware of the mutation and may even be orchestrating it. Our hero prepares a bucket of water, seemingly to aid or influence the snake's mutation. This suggests a deliberate action with a specific purpose. Su Chen comments on the snake's need for water to complete its mutation, implying he understands the process and is facilitating it. The snake undergoes a dramatic transformation, morphing into a larger, more monstrous creature with a dragon-like appearance. The vibrant purple hues emphasize the power of the mutation. Su Chen watches the snake's transformation with interest, seemingly pleased with the results. This reinforces the idea that he is actively involved in the mutation process. The main lead flinches, possibly from the sheer energy released by the snake's mutation. The dynamic lines convey the intensity of the transformation. The now fully mutated snake towers over Su Chen, a formidable creature with glowing red eyes. Su Chen appears calm despite the imposing size of the beast. Our hero muses on the rapid growth of the mutated snake, contemplating its potential as a pet, revealing a pragmatism toward its new power. Su Chen summons his glowing blade, ready to test the snake's submission and assert his dominance. He oozes confidence and control. He taunts the mutated snake, observing its increased intelligence as it attempts to flee. The scene sets the stage for a confrontation. Su Chen pursues the fleeing snake, leaping from the building with his blade drawn. The dynamic lines showcase his agility and the snake's swift escape. The mutated snake looks down at Su Chen, its red eyes and sharp fangs menacing. The vertical lines create a sense of impending attack. The lead character comments on the snake's snake skin walk ability, admitting it is faster than he anticipated. This adds another layer to the protagonist's analytical approach to combat. Su Chen attacks the snake midair, attempting to pierce its scales with his blade. The dynamic motion lines accentuate the clash. Our hero expresses surprise at the hardness of the snake's scales. Realizing the creature is more resilient than initially thought, this showcases the protagonist's adaptability in battle. The mutated snake opens its jaws wide, preparing to retaliate against Su Chen. The close-up shot emphasizes its threatening teeth and the imminent danger. The main protagonist prepares to attack the snake with his fist if his blade proves ineffective, demonstrating his resourcefulness and willingness to adapt. Su Chen strikes the snake, the impact creating a bright flash of light. The motion blur conveys the force of the blow. The snake coils around Su Chen, attempting to constrict him. This shows the creature's adaptability and cunning despite being under attack. Su Chen comments on the snake's cunning, recognizing its attempt to ensnare him as its true objective. Our hero finds himself inside the snake's mouth, the glowing red eyes and sharp teeth creating a terrifying close-up. This puts Su Chen in a seemingly precarious situation. Su Chen faces the snake, unfazed by the proximity of its jaws, and asks if it is still observing him, implying a hidden strategy. The scene cuts back to Bai Kang and Bai Ming, who are still observing the situation from afar. Bai Ming teases his companion about their concern for Su Chen. He continues to tease his companion, questioning their feelings for Su Chen, while noting the dangers he faces. This interaction provides a moment of levity amidst the intense action. Bai Kang expresses confidence in Su Chen's strength, recalling their first encounter. Captain Bai describes Su Chen's intense gaze and mysterious aura, referring to him as a monster, indicating both fear and admiration. Su Chen uses his arm to block the snake's jaws from closing, showing impressive strength and control over the situation. He taunts the creature, further demonstrating his confidence. Our hero comments on the heightened nervous system of snakes, even when decapitated, and prepares to test a theory against the mutated snake. This hints at his plan to incapacitate the creature. Su Chen emerges from the snake's torn flesh, having successfully executed his strategy. The dark silhouette and the red streaks symbolize his brutal efficiency. Our hero proclaims he's found what he was looking for, holding a small glowing crystal. Su Chen holds the crystal, anticipating the new abilities it will grant him. The glowing blue energy surrounding him hints at the power he's about to acquire. A narration box describes the devastating effects of extreme heat and subsequent floods on human civilization, setting a grim backdrop for the story's events. People flee from a massive wave engulfing the city, illustrating the destructive power of the flood and the chaos it creates. The text panel emphasizes the devastating flood's impact on Engineering University, leaving only tall buildings above water. This creates a sense of isolation and survival. Su Chen, now submerged in the floodwaters, has absorbed the snake's crystal core, anticipating further bodily changes. The swirling water reflects the transformative process. Our protagonist, Su Chen, finds himself submerged in water. He notices some strange enhancements to his physical abilities, including improved eyesight and the ability to breathe underwater. Su Chen realizes he's breathing through his skin, a power he suspects he gained from the Golden King snake he encountered earlier. While he doesn't have full water manipulation, Su Chen notes the underwater breathing is incredibly beneficial in the current flooded situation. The floodwaters, originating from the Green City Hotel, create a fierce current, making it difficult to swim, almost like hidden weapons in the water. Su Chen observes the relatively clear sky, deducing that the volcanic eruption in Shangdu hasn't reached its peak yet, but doomsday winter is imminent. Facing the apocalypse, Su Chen emphasizes the importance of enhancing one's strength to survive, recalling his previous life's experiences. Our hero remembers the aftermath of the Great Flood in his past life, where the northern part of the city became a watery battlefield controlled by the Golden King snake and the female Corpse King. The southern part of the city, in his previous life, was dominated by the cannibalistic Devourer clan, another faction to be wary of. The western part was ruled by the Rat King and his vast army of rats, a plague that Su Chen remembers well. Su Chen recalls almost dying at the hands of Skull Crusher Gao Chang and another powerful figure from the Green City Hotel, now occupying the eastern part of the city. Having already dealt with Gao Chang and the Golden King snake in this life, Su Chen focuses on acquiring crystal cores for power enhancement. He acknowledges the challenge of finding the female Corpse King, due to the Devourer clan's large population and numerous factions. The lead character remembers the rat plague at the University of Technology in his past life, where he believes the Rat King resides, hoping to acquire its crystal core early on. While contemplating, Su Chen realizes he's surrounded by enemies, seemingly from the Devourer clan, after getting a bit too relaxed. Our hero finds himself surrounded by the Devourer clan in the floodwaters. Someone clinging to a communication tower curses the flood and their current predicament. Two men on the tower spot Su Chen swimming towards them. One dismisses him, believing anyone in the water is doomed. The man on the tower recognizes Su Chen. The man on the tower identifies Su Chen, surprised he hasn't drowned in the flood. The other man on the tower blames Su Chen for their predicament, due to orders from the Bureau, and threatens to kick him back into the flood. The man notices Su Chen's incredible speed in the water, suspecting something is helping him. A horde of monstrous creatures, likely part of the Devourer clan, emerges from the water, giving the men on the tower another reason to panic. The men question how Su Chen can swim so fast against the strong current, even with the monstrous creatures emerging. The two men, revealing themselves to be from the Federal Bureau of Evolution, warn Su Chen to stay away. Our protagonist learns about the Federal Bureau of Evolution and their influence, planning to extract information from the men. Su Chen rapidly approaches the tower, surprising the men with his swiftness. The bearded man on the tower is shocked by Su Chen's sudden appearance. Su Chen swiftly kicks the bearded man off the tower and into the flooded water below. The bearded man screams as he falls into the water, his friend yelling in horror. The remaining man on the tower grabs the falling bearded man's hand, trying to save him. The man struggles to pull his friend back up onto the tower. The bearded man urges his friend to let go, fearing they'll both die due to his weight. Su Chen, now on the tower, demands information about the Federal Bureau of Evolution. The man refuses to cooperate, even when threatened by the approaching horde. Su Chen kicks the man towards the horde. The man is grabbed by a creature from the horde. The bearded man is pulled down into the water by the creatures, much to the other man's dismay. The remaining man declares he'll save his comrade. Both men fall into the water among the creatures, causing a splash. The other man comes face to face with one of the monstrous creatures, realizing his impending doom. He accepts his fate, realizing death is unavoidable. Su Chen quickly dispatches the creature threatening the other man, wielding a knife. Our hero, moving incredibly fast, effortlessly takes down the horde surrounding the two men. The surviving man is astounded by Su Chen's inhuman strength. The grateful survivor agrees to tell Su Chen what he knows about the Bureau. The survivor explains that they were sent by the Federal Bureau of Evolution to monitor Su Chen. The survivor reveals that the Federal Bureau of Evolution is located at the Science and Technology University and led by Chief Liu. Su Chen questions if the lab at the university conducts research on rats, connecting it to the previous rat disaster. The survivor states that only researchers are allowed in the labs, and that their knowledge about the inner workings is limited. Su Chen resolves to investigate the lab at the Science and Technology University before another rat disaster occurs. Meanwhile, Duan at the Green City Hotel obtains a crystal core from a zombie. Her eyes glow, indicating a reaction to the crystal core. Duan experiences a surge of energy and transformation as she absorbs the crystal core's power. Miss Duan cries out, seemingly in pain but also excitement, during the transformation. Duan, having seemingly completed her transformation, wonders if she succeeded. She then notices the floodwaters have reached her floor. Duan looks towards the source of a disturbance, alerted by the rising water. The pink-haired beauty is startled by the appearance of a slimy tentacled creature emerging from the water. Disgusted by the creature's slimy texture, Duan struggles against it. A close-up of the creature's toothed, circular maw. The creature's mouth opens wider, revealing more rows of teeth. The creature attempts to latch onto Duan's face. More tentacles ensnare the woman. Duan Ya finds herself completely entangled and unable to move. Overwhelmed, Duan realizes she's facing a multitude of these creatures. She regrets not having time to utilize her new ability against the creatures. Su Chen explains that consuming a crystal nucleus grants its ability. The nurse expresses his uncertainty about how to utilize an unknown ability after obtaining a crystal nucleus. Su Chen encourages Duan Ya to feel the changes in her body and environment to control her new ability. Miss Duan continues to experience the changes brought about by the crystal core. Duan is surprised and orders the tendrils to stop. The tendrils retract, startling Duan. The girl expresses annoyance at being covered in goo from the tendrils. Miss Duan grabs an axe, ready to retaliate against the tendrils. Duan Ya threatens to cut down the tendrils with her axe. Then she attacks the tendrils with the axe. Covered in goo, Duan decides to take a bath. Su Chen appears, surprising Duan, and asks to join her. It's love time. Duan demands to know who Su Chen is. Su Chen stands in the flooded room and comments on her foresight in grabbing a weapon. Duan recognizes Su Chen. Relieved and worried, Duan Ya embraces Su Chen. Duan questions the object pressing against her, implying a suggestive scene. Duan questions Su Chen's lack of clothing again, finding it amusing. Su Chen explains that he took off his clothes because they were dirty from the floodwaters, as they both share a bath. Su Chen asks Duan if she has awakened an ability. Miss Duan confirms, and Su Chen mentions sensing a temperature change from her mouth, implying its activation. Duan wonders what could have caused the temperature change in her mouth. Our Casanova inquires about Duan's ability. Su Chen reveals his ability seems to be mind control. Duan Ya, curious, suggests practicing the mind control ability on him. Su Chen asks how she's supposed to practice her new mind control ability. Su Chen's eye glows, indicating she is using her mind control ability. Duan, dressed in a suggestive outfit, offers a method of practice. Duan feels the effects of Su Chen's mental power, surprised by its intensity. Duan acknowledges Su Chen's mental power is strong, stating she might have collapsed if he hadn't consented. Su-chen, amused by her new ability, says it is quite good. Su-chen promises Duan-ya intensive practice that will leave her weak. Poor girl. A gunshot is heard from the Green City Hotel, suggesting someone is using a firearm. Two of the tendrils are severed by gunshots. Su-chen guides Duan on how to use the gun to destroy the tendrils, using her new abilities. Our protagonist gives her half a day to familiarize herself with her abilities and shooting skills. He mentions Duan's background at the medical university, sparking curiosity about her past. We get a closer look at Su-chen, our lead player, with a determined expression. Now it's time to prove the girl's usefulness. No more love in bed. Su-chen, now on a boat with a striking pink-haired woman dressed in a bunny girl outfit. Duan asks Su-chen if he's been to the Science and Technology University before, while our alpha man casually sips wine as they sail through the flooded ruins. This seemingly nonchalant question hints that the university holds some significance. Su-chen reveals he came to the university to check on a friend, wondering if they survived whatever disaster befell this place. This adds a personal stake to his mission and makes him more relatable. The bunny girl, ever the optimist, assures Su-chen that good people have good fortune, adding a touch of lightheartedness to the tense atmosphere. The boat cuts through the water, approaching their destination. The splashing waves and desolate background emphasize the post-apocalyptic setting. The bunny girl announces their arrival, her expression a mix of seriousness and anticipation. Clearly, the Science and Technology University is not just another stop on their journey. The dilapidated Science and Technology University comes into view, confirming their arrival at this ominous location. The wrecked buildings tell a tale of past destruction. Suddenly, shots ring out. Someone is firing upon the boat from a ruined watchtower, introducing immediate danger and conflict. Su-chen shields the bunny girl from the gunfire, showcasing his protective instincts and quick reflexes. This hints at growing rapport between them. A gruff-looking man, likely a guard, confronts them, demanding to know their identity and purpose. His aggressive posture sets him up as a potential antagonist. Su-chen identifies their destination as the Science and Technology University, the last known location of the mutant Rat King, dropping a bomb of information about a potential monstrous threat. Our hero explains their purpose: to join the Federal Bureau of Evolution, requesting the guard to open the gate. This clarifies their intentions, at least superficially. The guard, clearly amused by the bunny girl's attire, proposes a sleazy deal. Spend the night with him and he'll let her in, while Su-chen can go back where he came from. The bunny girl offers the guard a plate of braised pork, turning the tables with an unexpected bribe. This suggests she's more cunning than she initially appears. The guard is instantly captivated by the braised pork, hinting at the power of good food in this desperate setting. It's a humorous moment that cuts the tension. Overwhelmed by the irresistible aroma, the guard orders another man, Lu Dao, to open the gate, showcasing his weakness for culinary delights. The gate opens, granting Su-chen and the bunny girl access to the university. The scene highlights the effectiveness of the bunny girl's unconventional strategy. The guard instructs Lu Dao to take them inside while demanding the braised pork for himself. Clearly, the pork was a powerful negotiating tool. Su-chen and the bunny girl exchange a look in the dark, her eyes glowing red. This sudden shift suggests hidden powers or a secret agenda, thickening the plot. The guard, now also with glowing red eyes, is completely enthralled by the pork's scent and agrees to let Su-chen in, promising to send him to the lab later, adding another layer of mystery. Is it a pork really? The unknown man offers to guide Su-chen and pink-haired bunny girl, Miss Duan the nurse. Lu Dao introduces himself and encourages cooperation within the base, revealing a sense of community among the survivors, despite the harsh conditions. Lu Dao explains the base's living arrangements, guiding Su-chen and the bunny girl upstairs, showing a more organized side of the survivors' community. Lu Dao notices the child's difficulty walking, showing concern for the younger members of the community. This adds a human touch to the post-apocalyptic setting. The bunny girl inquires about the child's weakness and the whereabouts of their parents, showing compassion and setting up a potential backstory for the child. The child reveals that their parents haven't returned from a scavenging mission, hinting at the dangers outside the base and the child's vulnerable situation. The bunny girl offers the child some bread. The child accepts the bread but worries about the bunny girl's hunger, showing a sweet and innocent nature despite their circumstances. Su-chen assures the child that the bunny sister will never go hungry. Su-chen displays a burst of power, creating a table laden with food, implying he possesses extraordinary abilities that go beyond medical knowledge. He creates a hot pot, surprising the bunny girl and child. The little girl expresses a desire to be Su Chen's woman too, showcasing childish innocence and humor amidst the bleakness. The bunny girl scolds the child for the remark but feeds her nonetheless, demonstrating her caring nature despite the playful banter. Su Chen smells someone cooking, foreshadowing a potential confrontation with the base's inhabitants or other survivors. A group confronts Su Chen and the bunny girl, accusing them of hoarding food, a violation of the base's rules. This sets up a conflict and introduces the power dynamics within the base. The bunny girl comforts the child, promising to deal with the situation and showing her protective side. The bunny girl steps forward to address the situation, her serious expression suggesting she's ready to take charge. Su Chen watches her, further intrigued by her actions. The leader of the group notices something, his startled expression foreshadowing a surprising revelation. The bunny girl reveals she prepared the food for them, implying a strategy to appease or manipulate the group. The bunny girl's eyes glow red again, hinting at the use of her powers or influence to control the situation. The group is ecstatic at the sight of so much meat, highlighting the scarcity of food and their desperation. The group devours the food with gusto, revealing the extent of their hunger and the power of the bunny girl's offering. The leader, satisfied but still upholding the rules, declares Su Chen broke them and must be punished, setting up a potential confrontation or trial. The bunny girl reacts to the leader's declaration of punishment, her expression indicating defiance or a hidden plan. The leader orders someone to bring them out, escalating the situation and hinting at a more severe punishment than initially anticipated. Two chained figures are brought forth, revealing the nature of the punishment, a life-or-death duel. The spiked chains and aggressive posture of the figures emphasize the brutality of the situation. Su Chen is given a grim choice: kill or be killed by the two chained figures, raising the stakes and forcing him to fight for survival. Su Chen recognizes the chained figures as two brothers from a past encounter, raising questions about their history and the reason for their imprisonment. The little girl is revealed to be eating bread, a seemingly insignificant act that might hold more weight than apparent. The little girl recognizes the chained figures as her brothers and asks the bunny girl what happened to them, adding a tragic element and a personal stake for the child. The girl demands the release of her brothers, showcasing her bravery and love for her family. The bunny girl tries to keep her away from the fight. The bunny girl explains that the brothers failed a mission and were sentenced to death for lacking contribution points, revealing the harsh rules and consequences of the base. The leader reveals he kept the brothers alive for his own amusement, adding a layer of cruelty and highlighting his sadistic nature. He proposes a new deal. If Su Chen loses the duel, he and the bunny girl will be fed to water monsters, escalating the threat and setting up a thrilling climax. Phew, that's a lot, right? Trust me, it's even better when you see it. You absolutely have to check this manhwa out. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.